Thanks for the follow, 360. Hello, welcome. My name is Alckemy. Today we are going to be taking a look at a synth tier list for 2025. Before you start getting your upset or whatever, tribalist vibes, whatever, just chill out. This is just for fun. Don't try to kill me or anybody else. I really don't think that there is a best synth except for Phase Plant. But aside from that, we are going to kind of just be taking a look and kind of like just using this as a means of information off of stuff that maybe we can talk about some synths that haven't been discussed in a while, or we can talk about some stuff that you should have on your radar, depending on what you're looking for. Before I begin, there's a couple of things that I need to do. First is I actually need to get some synths in here, and I want to take a few minutes to talk to chat to see if there's anything that I might have missed, because this is just a template. I haven't even put all the other stuff in here. Two, it's going to be kind of like general third-party synths. So if there's that one specific niche thing that you're like, yo, this is the best thing ever, and it does one thing really cool. This is like your Phase Plant, your Serum, your Vital, Pigments, things that are a general subtractive soft synth type thing. Hey, Victor, what's up? So you know what I mean? Bear with me on that. The other thing is that I started doing lately, I recently launched a new channel in the Discord where it is called Everyday Quick Play Spells. It comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, thank you for watching that. And what I'll do is every time I go live, I'll see what's being updated here. And you can submit if you want to, but at the beginning of every stream, I'm going to play out just 15 seconds of whatever you all have in the Discord. I figure 15 seconds is such an easy thing to hold you accountable for making music and for making stuff. Hey, Fred. And that's kind of just a way that I can, for one, give back to the community, but two, help you highlight some of your skills. But the everyday thing is something that I got from the Upscale people. Shout out to Frequent and Hudson Lee. It's a little bit different here as, yeah, you want to put 15 seconds up, but I want to make sure that, you actually will get it heard. So it does have a couple of rules. It needs to be 15 seconds. Please don't, try to push that boundary about being like, well, it was accidentally 30. It was accidentally 20 minutes. Will you still play it? No, 15 seconds. The other thing is that please keep the content, safe for work and all that other stuff. So that is a disclaimer. But yeah, I don't know if that's something that you all like and that you're interested in. There's a link to the Discord in the link tree. I think that we can also type in the chat, maybe see if this works. Sometimes it dies and then I have to reset it, but let's see if this works. But yeah, if that's something that you want to do, it's just a thing that can hold you accountable. And, I want to try to reward you with it about being like, hey, I'll stream your stuff over on, or I'll play your stuff at the beginning of the stream before we get into the actual lesson. So let's do this first. and then I'll show you the synths and stuff that I have, and we'll get that uploaded, and then you all can kind of help me figure out what we want to do for the other stuff. Cool. So let's see. Anion has a 15-second submission. This is 22 seconds. Grimtech is already breaking the rules, but... Yo, Philippe, what's up? This is sick. Yeah, you know, you could just post 15 seconds of that, or it could be a sound, it could be a bass, it could be whatever, you know. I don't really care, just as long as it's not anything offensive. Sick. Cora. He gets 15 seconds. Cool. Dope. Wow, almost everybody here broke the rules. 15 seconds, people, come on. Sick. That was dope. I really like this too because this tells me where you all are at with music. Cool. Thanks, Danny. When did I obey the rules in any first submit? Fuck off. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing this every day or every time I stream, and if I didn't get yours now, like, you can submit at any point in time. There's nothing that's going to penalize you for not submitting, but I don't know, that seems like a cool way to just kind of like read the musical headlines, so to speak, right? I would do that, but I'll tell you now, like, okay, if you're gonna break the rules, I'm only gonna play 15 seconds, unless if it's the coolest thing that I've ever heard. But just do it for me, so that way I'm not here for 30 minutes. Just 15 seconds, okay? Just 15 seconds. I'm making a Serum 2 skin. It's possible. Can you make it in 15 seconds? I bet you can't. Okay. All right, so yeah, welcome. We've got this synth tier list, and we need to upload some more stuff. So let me kind of get everything in here that I have. Hey, wait, what is this? Yeah, on this here. That was for the thumbnail. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Subscribing. I did it for the cat girls. Let's go. All right, so I have most of the regular things like faceplant. I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. I wish that these icons could be a little bit bigger. They're a little bit small for even me. It looks like we have silent, massive. There's ZebraLet 3, VCV rack, Nexus 3, Rapid, Zebra 2, Massive X. This looks like Falcon, Hive 2, Avenger, Synthmaster 3, Pigments, FM8, Reactor 6, Omnisphere, Silent, Dune 3, Diva, Vital Again. I don't know what this is. Is this Synthmaster 1? This looks like Spire. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. Contact, I don't even know why that's there. We're not going to do the V collection. This was something that was already in the template because there's way too many synths to cover. I don't know what this is either. But what else are we missing? We covered Hive 2. Hey, Aaron. Oh, we need to get Ghosts in here. Zebra's in there. And then let's put some music on while we do this. I'll put it really very low, but that way we can kind of have something to listen to in the background and it's not so boring. There we go. What is the name? Ghost VST from X Acoustics. So I think these guys deserve a shout out. I still feel bad that I didn't do the review for them. I had a lot of shit going on at the time, but they definitely deserve an honorable mention because there's a lot to like about this, although I've heard that you can't make your own wavetable in it, so that's kind of a bummer, I guess. Are there any other synths that we need to take a look at? Do I have Nemesis? Surge, that's a good one. Yeah. Ghost. Let's pull up Surge XT. Anything else? Ember? What is that? We have Hive. I do have a Zebralet. I don't have Anna 2. They're just mentioning some. Thor. No. So I'm only doing third-party stuff. Not first-party stuff. Okay, hold on. Before you give me the rest of your suggestions, these are meant to be like kind of like versatile synths, things that can do a lot of things, not just one thing, not one very specific thing. So we're looking at, you know, something that can potentially do like wavetable / sample / you know, or something like not anything that's very hyper specific, because that we would be here all day if we did that. No, that's okay. That's why 3x oscillator getting sacked right now. Maybe in a separate stream. I do have VCV rack. I don't have Cardinal. Odin. Okay, I'm gonna have to rely on some of you all for this is a Cardinal synth of EDM. But yeah, I'm gonna have to rely on some of you all for this stuff because I haven't messed with everything. Let's see, Odin. I've never even seen this before. What is this? Look cool. Looks cool. Cherry audio stuff. Cult is kind of a specific thing, right? What is Karma? Yeah, likewise, Jazz. This is a hardware VST. No, this isn't gonna make it. This needs to be like, we're talking about like plugins. What else we got? All the ones I mentioned are multi-oscillator and semi-modular. Contact does count, but that's already in there. Anna 2. Is this already in here? Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, so that's already in there as well. What else we got? Delay Llama is in there. Why is Diva Mustone on the thumbnail? Why do you think? Nexus is... I got Nexus in there as well. It's right here. Biotech 2. Halion and Falcon is in there. I don't have Halion in there. That looks cool. Do I have the set to repeat? I do. Sorry. We should probably do FM. I do already have FM8 in there. Razor. I do have Reactor in there. I don't have Razor though. Karma is essentially Faceplant Jr. Karma. I'll type in Karma plugin. Is this it right here? I've never seen this before. Interesting. What else? Biotech, FM. I think Dawson Colts is like a very specific thing, right? Is this a wavetable? Okay, fuck it. We'll throw it in there. Pendulate. So we're trying to keep it to like general, like very flexible sound design stuff, not like hyper specific things. Pendulate. So if you all are trying to mention like stuff that does one thing really cool, then oh, that's from Newfangled Audio as well, isn't it? Yeah, like the Newfangled stuff is like very specific with what it does. I'm trying to be like the general, trying to keep it general of like, hey, it's a multifunctional thing that's supposed to do a lot of stuff. Not just like, oh, this one synth does this very specific niche thing. So we're not going to add pendulate or generate. So we're kind of talking about things like Serum, Falcon, Faceplant, you know, those kinds of things. Because it's just too much. I'll be here all day if we kind of break all that stuff down. You know what I mean? Is there anything else? I'm going to go ahead and add these while I try to see if there's... Today. 5:42 p.m. There we go. Babylon? I've never heard of it before. Avenger is in there. Babylon Synth. Sure. Okay. I've never heard of this, but yeah, if it's something that... This looks like something that is kind of generic and does a bunch of things. We did get some Dawson synths in there. Rob, we did get that in there. M Sound Factory, that's definitely one. Okay, I'm really glad that a bunch of you are here because I'm going to rely a lot on a lot of these synths that I have not used. So I'm definitely biting off more than I can chew, but hopefully with your help we can kind of figure out where some of this stuff belongs. I've already got Falcon on there. Graphite. And I'm glad that I have the chat up. I might make chat bigger while I do this, so that way, while we're kind of going through all this stuff or whatever, people can... this actually looks kind of cool. People can kind of do the talking and stuff. We're not going to do anything from like first party things. So I know that Reason has like the Reason rack or whatever, but we're probably going to try to avoid, you know, like Thor or that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of just make it as like a complete third party thing. I guess we could do Reason rack though. I don't know. That kind of gets into a whole bunch of other stuff because of how many other components this has. So random is a very specific synth, so we're gonna try not to do that one. Because it's like only meant for like one thing. Oberhausen. Rolly Equator, that's another one that we could do, yeah. This is extremely... we'll probably skip this one. This one is just like so... This one's a little too basic. Astra. Man, this is going to be a long stream. Yeah, there's too many. I do... Well, I have Synth Master in there. DS Thorn. I've never seen this before. But I would say, yeah, this would be fitting in there. Butter Synth is another one that we have to consider. I don't know if I'd recommend this on computer, but on the iPad, this is a must own. Massive is in there. Brainwork stuff likes to get thrown in with plugin boutique stuff. Not a lot of their plugins were gifts with purchase, not knocking quality, but yeah. It's the only reason Synth that was released as third party. Okay, I'll add it then. This looks a lot like Thor. Man, I wish Maelstrom was a third-party synth. I would. If we were doing iPad stuff, Drambo would definitely be in there. But it's not a plugin, so. Oh, Absinthe, right? Absinthe 5. No, like, I don't know if, welcome to the channel. I don't know if you've been here before or not, but I actually cover a lot of stuff on Drambo, but mostly just for iPad. Oh, you can't get Absinthe anymore? Dang. My boy's looking rough. I didn't know that. Okay, we'll just delete it. This is the closest to Harmer's added in Synth. No, Monarch is a little bit too basic. We are including complete, but we probably won't throw anything that's either like... Actually, that's not true. Yeah, I think Monarch needs a little bit more versatility. Alckemy has to be in too. Yeah, well, Alckemy still exists within Logic, right? So... Oh god. Harmer is a first-party synth, so we're not throwing that in there. Zebra's in there. I haven't messed with Harmer in a long time. Daichi Synth 1. Ghost is included. Shit, if anything, this is really nice just to like give a comprehensive list of what all there is to buy. Yeah, I guess this will work. It's a 2 oscillator. Who is using this, though? And then my second question is why? Why? So what if it's virtual analog? Whatever, we'll throw it in there. I'm guessing the Moog model from Arturia is excluded too. Yeah, we're not going to include that. What makes a good synth? What is considered a bad synth? Good sounding presets, libraries that come with it. Oh yeah, I do need to add Halion. Give me one sec. This looks like a 70s computer chip thing from a questionable guy with a mustache that's trying to tell you it's the best thing ever. Halion synth. I will answer that question about what makes a good synth in just a second. But I do think that would be a really good way to like kick the tier list off of defining stuff. I've already added Falcon. Twin 2 from FabFilter. I need to shout out that guy playing Dungeons of Dreadmore in my Discord. What a king. Omnisphere's in there. DOS only. Max MSP / sarcasm. Are the DSP 56300? No, those aren't included. Synth 1 because it was free. LOL, it sucks. Yeah, I guess if we're gonna throw whatever we just threw in there, then we should include Twin 2. I actually like Twin 2 a lot, believe it or not. Do I have that for Bitwig? I don't remember if I bought that or not. Not Bitwig, sorry, but for... Hello? Dude, since I updated to Sequoia, like, Bitwig has been running so ass on my computer. I might even fucking use Ableton until they fix this, because look at this. Give it a sec. It'll catch up. That's really frustrating. Sorry, Twin 3, not Twin 2. Yeah, Twin 3, you can actually do some pretty cool stuff with that. I do have Dawson stuff. Dawson Myth seems like a very specific type of thing. Instead of Blade, add Predator 3. It's more powerful. I did add the Rob Papin stuff. Synth 1 is supposed to be a Juno emulation. Surge is on the list. Colt is in there. Arturia is in there. I feel like I'm not going to add Helm because Vital is already in there. And I feel like Vital is kind of just like an evolved version of Helm. Where am I looking here? Synth Master. Horizon. Is this what you're talking about? No, this seems like a very this seems like a specific like atmospheric thing. We're only looking at like relatively general stuff. I did put Hallian in. They're very glitch minded. Bazil from Yuhi. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to avoid like very specific synths that like are really good at one thing. I'm looking for things that are, I'm trying to keep it relatively general for like, hey, this can cover most of your synth options. Serum and Placement anymore for synth. Also, I do have FM8 included. I think Polygon is only sample based, right? So I'm not going to put that in. Otherwise, like if we start doing just straight up samplers, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Let me catch up on chat. Sorry guys, I'm trying to work with Dawson are sick. I think, yeah, Skydust 3D is very specific. Avenger is on there. If you had like a sentence for the ideal synth thing, right? Yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. Noisy Hue Synth 1. Omnisphere is in there. We got Twin, Pigments. Also, hi everybody. Thank you so much for coming in to hang out. I appreciate it. Diva is in there. Tone 2. I don't think I got Tone 2 in there. Tone 2, Nemesis 3. Okay, let me jump back down to the bottom. Rapid is in there. Sound Factory. Yep, sorry, I forgot about that one too. Iris 2 count? Yeah, Iris 2 is like just a spectral synth, right? Like it's only specifically for that. So we'll probably avoid that. Transistor, nobody knows about it, but you can make weird stuff on it. I mean, I might check it out off stream, but is that like a super specific or generic, or not generic, but I'm looking for the more generic sense of things that can like cover a large amount of something that ideally could make drums, bass, pads, all that other stuff. Yeah, Simplan is a very specific niche thing, so we're not going to include that. Horizon is not full featured compared to Biotech 3. We did get Dune 3 in there. Does Polyverse have a synth? I don't think so. I think they're just what's it called? I think they're just effects. Okay. Let's get these added in. Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, I think I didn't use the correct term of generic. I'm sorry. I meant to say something that is that can cover a lot of things. What was the last thing that we got in here? Surge. Odin. There we go. Zeta 2 was a fun one. I don't know if it exists anymore. Zebra's on there. Yeah, Cakewalk is to me considered first party. Hive is included. Only hardware, please. Bro, how would we do that? Jared, how could we possibly do that? I've only touched maybe like 5 different hardware synths in my entire life. Please. Yeah, I thought about that. We could probably do Cyclop. Cyclop is something that... Just Behringer stuff. Hey bro, you have to own every hardware synth and $1 million. Hey, you guys know that you fund my channel, so if you want to see it, I will do it. But, you know, I can't fund my own shit like that. I don't got it like that. Diva might be in there twice, but I'm just making sure that everything is in there. I am actually curious about this, so I'm going to be relying on chat a lot to tell me and inform me about these things, because it seems like I have a lot to learn with what's out there. I think like half of these I've never heard of before. I mean, I remember when it came out in like 2013, that was like, I think 2013, right? It was around the same time that Serum came out. Yeah, I haven't heard of this list a lot either. The Meow Synth, she purrs. What? Boy demoed everything under the sun and has some of these. Mini, actually. Mewoizer. Alright, I think we're good. I guess what we could do is, if you all are watching this at another point in time, or because I'm going to leave this stream particularly up in public, you can tell me about whatever synth that you might have wanted me to mention, but I'll say it one more time. This is meant to be like something that covers a large area of sound design, not just one specific thing, you know? Otherwise, we'd be here for 6 hours. We're probably going to be here for a while figuring this shit out in the first place. That's fine. That's why we're here, right? And it's nice that I can take a break from sound design and production and all that other stuff. Sugar Bites is kind of devastated. I got Tornado a while ago. We all remember Effectrix. Other than that, I think they expanded other stuff, too much UI graphics. I still use some of their stuff on iPad because they're like one of the only companies that has just about everything on the computer available on the iPad. And the iPad itself is just... There's some sick shit that you can do. Alright, let me adjust. Owning 2 or 3 is one good analog emulation from Yuhi, and 1 Swiss Army knife like Faceplant and Serum should be enough for everyone. Yeah, that seems fair. Use their drum machine a lot, it's pretty nice. Effectrix 2 is still goated. What is the 10 best sounding? Contact is the best, designers, expansion makers. Honestly, like, if you're just here to be like, what is the best one? In my opinion, I'll say that one more time for the people in the back, so you can unbutton the top button of your shirt. In my opinion, Faceplant is the best synth on the market. One more time. In my opinion, Faceplant is the best synth on the market. Nexus is on there. Wait, let me say it over here for the reverb. In my opinion, Faceplant is the best synth on the market. Why? Because it is the most versatile. It has unlimited effects, pretty much unlimited routing capabilities. It's semi-modular and it's put together in a package that, like I said, you just do. Actually, I'm not going to answer that. Half of my channel is dedicated to Faceplant, so just watch my shit and then be like, make your own decision. And if anybody doesn't know me, by the way, because there's a lot of new faces in here, for one, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. I spent a lot of time on sound design. I spent a lot of time on neuro-bass design, specifically drum design. Lots of stuff that is really in-depth, and I break shit. So this isn't coming from somebody that just cooks up presets and then is like, oh, this is the best. Like, I'm somebody that spends a lot of time making sounds. And I have a whole catalog of well over 1,000 videos to back that up. So that's just where that's coming from. Icarus 2, is that a relatively generic synth? PP, best synth. Agreed. If Serum 2 offered their SH as modules, would be good also. You mean their effects? I'm guessing that's autocorrect. Icarus 2. Yeah, okay. It's ugly, but we'll throw it in there if you like it. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to toot my own horn, but Tone 2 is in there. I don't have the slightest clue why they did Massive Dirty like that. They have the best bass IMO. I just found out about you. Mentioning best synths caught my attention. You know, nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Apparently, through some of the comments, I'm the most salty streamer ever, producer, and I need to own up to my clickbait, but, you know, you be the judge. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, Voxel says, guys, I think Faceplant might just be the best synth on the market. It is just a theory, but... Icarus 2 is OG Serum. Analog Lab, are you talking about from Arturia? We probably won't do that because that's a lot of other stuff. Salt makes everything taste better. Nah, it's just one of those things where, like, you know, I guess people think that they can say whatever they want on the internet and not expect any clapback, and I'm not one of those people, so... Microtonic? Is that a generic synth? What I'm really asking is, can we be done so I can get to this list? Please. The workflow of Faceplant is unmatched. Snap people is insane. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Marcelo, what's up? We are done. No, this seems a little bit too basic. I'm sure it sounds great, but yeah, no, that's not gonna make the cut. It's a drum machine? Oh, okay, then no. Yeah, we're not doing drum machines. Maybe we'll do drum machines another time. Okay, are we ready? I think, wait, we might need to add that one that I just pulled out, but other than that, I think we're ready to go. What is this? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, I'd say 63-ish because we've got some duplicates in there. This is going to be a multi-day stream, right? No, we're going to get through this. Analog Lab is powerful because this one VST allows you to search all the Arturia presets. Yeah, but it's... right, see you tomorrow. But it's like in its core, Analog Lab is like a virtual, like a culmination of a bunch of very specific synths. So we probably won't throw that in. It is here. I didn't add that. It was already like, I used a template. There's also some stuff in here that I don't know what it is. Like, can anybody make sense of what this is? I think that's Synthmaster. I don't know what that is. So there's some things on here that we're not going to include. That looks like Keyscape from Spectrasonics or something. Do we have Bitwig synths in there? No, we don't. Korg Multipoly? Yeah, it's third party. Third party. For me, the best synth is Reason Rack because it's not just a plugin, rather a whole DAW with various types of synthesis effects. That's fair. Zoom and enhance. I didn't like Break Tweaker or the beat thing. I actually really like Break Tweaker. I've made a lot of... Wait, Break Tweaker is Isotope. We don't have Harmor in there. It's not a third-party synth. At least not anymore. Ugh. All right. Where should we start? Actually, before we start, I need to, I'd like to make chat bigger so that way, there we go. And then put you all in the bottom corner or something. So that way, can I close this? Yeah. You know what, I might move it to the right side because there's nothing on that side. I know I have two divas, but it's okay. We're not gonna use two divas. I don't know how to delete stuff off of here, so just let it go. You can get rid of some of them, but not all of them. No. Yeah. Okay, that's about as much as we can do. But I think this is good because you can at least see what's going on the bottom left side of the chat. Start with the bigger names since they'll be easier to get through. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Is the new synth by Korg. I haven't bought it yet. The Korg collection is awesome. From the lower tiers. I think we'll start with the best stuff first because let's face it, nobody's going to sit here and watch this whole thing. So let's start off with best for last. Dude, we could be here for hours and there's 60 people in the chat. Like, think about it. Think about it. You have to look at it from my perspective. Okay, where should we start? Let's do... I'm watching the whole thing. You're awesome. Let's start with Vital. I personally think Vital should be in the great. Actually, I think Vital should be in must own because it's free. This is probably the best entry-level tier list thing that, like, if you're just starting out with music and as a free option, I think that there's no reason for you to buy this. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Good ones first, some niche ones in the middle. Yeah, that seems fair too. But yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any qualms about this? Yeah, Vital is probably the first must own, just because, like I said, it doesn't cost anything. It is such a Swiss Army knife of tools. I never use it personally, but that's because Vital came into my world after I had already years of experience. Until 2 days ago, it was as good as Serum. That's a really good point. Yeah, I don't have any argument against that. So, Matt, you did really good things for the community. We'll start with that one. Let's go with Diva. Where are we at with Diva? I personally think Diva is hella overrated. I think that Diva sounds great. I think that I think it sounds great, but its CPU inefficiency, I think that it doesn't really offer a lot of versatility. It's just an analog synth to me. I feel great will be overcrowded. It might be, but we'll see. I'd put it in mid. Just resample. So, but what you're saying is like it needs other stuff in order to make it better. I'd say mid, but that also sounds fair. Does it have effects routing capabilities? Yeah, and it's overpriced. It's extremely expensive. So I think Diva's mid. Mid or overrated at best. Resampling is a hassle. I put it in great, but I'm also a keyboard player, so I get a bit more mileage from it. That is a really big consideration for sure. Multi-core button, what? Podcast with Steve Dude and Mr. Bill. Steve says how he spent his retirement on building Serum 2 and wanted to make it free for Serum buyers because he's the shit, and agree with overrated. Easier to get analog sound through other less expensive options. I agree. Hope other companies will do the same. It is one of the few analog emulations worth having if you want that sound. Not everyone wants that sound, so it's niche in a way. Where would Massive be after all these years? I'll be here to find out. Yeah, we'll find out together, because I don't know. It's mid and overrated. We'll leave it at mid, because I know that some people really find Diva, like, I think that some people really are like attached to it, so there's that. All right, let's go to Omnisphere. I'm on the fence about this one. I think Omnisphere is great. I think that as a sound design engine, it sucks to use. There are way too many menus, but for the sheer amount of content that you get from buying it, the library is absolutely massive, and they keep adding to it. It's also an issue because their library is so big that it takes up a huge amount of space on your computer. But I mean, you can't offload it to, you know, like a external hard drive or something. But yeah, I'm torn because the sounds are great, but the synth engine itself to use is not fun at all. It's not the worst, but it is not fun to use at all. It's really clunky. I agree. It's really clunky, especially the modulation and stuff. It is not my favorite by any step, but it's a great starting point, I feel. Was a sampler. I didn't realize this full-on synth library is what I've heard of, like you said. Yeah, I've had Omnisphere since 2015, and I don't use it anymore, but I have made a lot of songs with it for sure. The UI is from 2002. Yeah. I haven't had any expectations with Omni, but I always pictured it like a less expensive Nexus, which makes it a fairly comparable as kind of a synth engine. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you all think about Nexus here in a bit too, because I didn't know that they recently added a synth. No, it's not just a Rompler. It does FM, it does spectral synthesis, it does granular. Yeah, it does a lot. Thick as 2 short planks, peace out, yo. Wait, what? But mostly a Rompler? I mean, how do you figure? If it has all those synths and stuff, it does all that cool stuff. Yeah, for me it's 60. Pigments is on the list. It's at the bottom somewhere. I guess we also uploaded Ghost twice. It is... Here it is. Pigments is right there. So let's do that next. Let's go to Pigments. I'm sorry, guys. I think Pigments is mid. Discuss. What do you think? I have Pigments and I never seem to vibe with it. Pigments is mid. I think it's great. Absolutely. Fred, you have the floor. Tell me why you think it's great. I tried Pigments. Feels like a Beats here. I couldn't get in the zone with it. Got it for 70 bucks. New physical modeling engines go crazy. You have a case, Ruby. I trust you. Pigments is something I would vibe with if I was a stoner. I put it in mid or overrated. No way Diva is mid. Check the stream, bro. It seems to be unanimous decision. Also, if anybody gets upset, please read the description before you all try to kill me. I don't have as much experience to compare with these. No. Yeah, I think the thing with... I haven't tried the new physical modeling stuff, and I'm sure that it's great, but the FM workflow and the granular stuff and the samplers and all that, I just don't have a good time working with it. One thing that I like about Pigments is the color and saturation and all that, so it's nice to look at, but I haven't really made anything inspiring with it, personally. It's super heavy on CPU, that's a good consideration. V6, there are things it does that are not that common. Right, I understand that it's got the new physical modeling engines and stuff, but I don't know if it's enough to warrant, you know. Also, effects are super limited. Yeah, it is a pretty synth. I totally give that credit. It gets a lot of updates. I hate the modulation in the UI. I do too. I also don't like their effect routing system. It's not my favorite. I don't remember, but does this have a wavetable designer? It's not a go-to for all synth. Huge library of presets. Okay, I also will say for the most part, aside from maybe Contact and Omnisphere, I am not a preset guy. I do everything like on my own, so that almost never goes into consideration. How do I get preset packs or buy libraries for these VSTs? I have Omnisphere, Dios, Silent, and Nexus. Just look them up on Google. It does have one now. I think it didn't used to, right? Also, does anybody remember Arturia's Neurobase tutorial? Just for memes? We should consider it too. Yeah, if you want to consider it, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know, like, Omnisphere and Contact are the only, like, probably the only ones that I'm like, I like the filters in it. Okay. Maybe I should make another thing here, or can I even do that? Limit chart. It promised a lot and under-delivered. I think so too. If I could, it won't let me make any changes to this. Wait, maybe if I take this out, it will let me change it. No, it won't. So, shit. I was hoping that I could add another thing here that's maybe like in between great and mid, to where it's like good, I guess. What was the other one that we looked at? Wait, what was the other one that we just covered? Pigments, right. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, there's a lot to look at. I'm trying to read chat and keep up to date with what we're doing as well in the first place. And now I'm trying to locate where Pigments is. There it is. Yeah, compromise. We bump Diva down, but Pigment stays in mid. If you forgot, put it on Don't Bother. I couldn't even remember what it was, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's go into Massive X. What do you all think about Massive X? I know some people in here would disagree, but I personally feel like it's a don't bother synth. From what I heard, a majority is disappointing after Massive. Okay. I love Massive, but I love Pigments too. It's probably fine, but the UI just doesn't look fun to use. I have it in my account, but I'd rather just use it. I think I used it maybe twice or something. It's not even overrated. It's great for presets and does a lot of cool things. Mid and below. I didn't like it. It's good where it is. Improved a lot. So I will say that like one cool thing about Massive X is it has a cool feedback system that Data Broth taught me about. But as a generic synth, about being like, this is going to be the thing that I'm going to buy, I would not recommend this over any of the other stuff that we're going to be going through, personally. Once you get used to it. Arturia MS20 filter is great, you can get it without Pigments now. Yeah, and I know that like you all hear me crap on Pigments a lot, but I still think that Arturia does have some great stuff. I don't personally care for it. Alright, well, I guess since we're covered Massive X, let's go into Massive now. Massive is the OG, right, of all of these, well, most of these synths. Where does it fit today in 2025? The GOAT? Like, actually, raise your hand if you're still using Massive today in 2025. Hall of Famer? Great. One person says don't bother. I never personally liked Massive, to be honest. Oh, it's 20 bucks? Okay, that's not bad. We don't know. I'm getting a lot of greats in the chat, so I think that's kind of... It actually does some fun things Serum doesn't. I still be using Massive, I think it's great. I'll admit I didn't use it as much as I should have. Played Absinthe more than Massive. Well, until Serum 2. I did for 1 year ago for the track, just for the old days of feeling. So we'll just leave it in great for nostalgia then, yeah. Okay. I think I'm comfortable with it staying in great. For what ground? That's fair. Used to be a must own. You can't put it above Massive X though. You can't put it above Massive X? I think it's better than Massive X. Has unique features under the hood and a higher ceiling if you sound design a lot. It's just the UI aged really fast. It's priced at $100 right now? Holy shit. Why? Okay. Let's hop back to something modern. And let me see where this is. We might need to add it because I don't see it off. I can't find it with my eyes, although I don't have great eyesight in the first place. Yeah, okay. So we need to add one more to this, which I thought I already did, but here we go. Let's go to this one. How do you all feel about current in 2025? I personally still think it's great. I don't think that it's a must own, but I'm curious as to what you all think. Must have. Tell me why. Adam gave it for free via. Great, but the ugliest UI around. I don't mind the UI. I think it's okay. I really like the purple. Never tried. Really enjoy the stream. I've not used Current, but Current 1 is a mid to great. Current 2 I do think is a big step up. Definitely a different model and its effects are interesting combo. Wasn't Current a recent one too? Did I miss a few years? Yeah, Current is... So the reason why I personally think that Current is great, and this is kind of why I'm doing this, I guess we'll go ahead and like tackle all of these so I can get over the comparison and then you all can like timestamp this. But the thing about Current that makes it stand out versus Vital and Serum and Faceplant is that it has the best effects. Yeah, that's exactly, Jazz. I think that it's mid in the synthesis department in some cases. It doesn't have a wavetable designer, which pisses me off, but it still has the best built-in effects that feel very premium. And so that would be something to leave it in the great contender. You know what I mean? For the same price as PP? Wait, what is the same price as PP? What's it? Wait, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Unfortunately, UJAM or Romplers, yeah, those won't count. Hi, Kev. If we take the effects, which are essentially plugins on their own, it's hard not to bump it to must own, though. Yeah, but the effects are built in, right? So I'm not talking about the whole suite. I'm just talking about like what it has to offer. Like the downside of it is that it has a limited amount of effects compared to now both Serum and Faceplant. But I do think that the built-in effects sound the best. For the most part. Honestly, because it has fuse compressor, it automatically bumps the audio quality up by like tenfold. Yeah, you and I are on the same page, Gloom. I literally just said that and then read your comment. Saw Artifacts using it. I think it sounds decent. Fuse compressor is nuts, agreed. Can you run samples through the effects? Yeah. It has a sampler, it also has a granular engine, so... I'm getting an M Sound Factory, it's deep. Chi was telling me about that the other day. We'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, so since we're gonna kind of cover the rest of these, the next one that we'll talk about is Butter Synth. I think that... Yeah, I would say that Butter Synth is probably also in great, and I'll tell you why. Most of you probably don't know what this synth is, but it's another Serum clone that I found through iOS and iPad. What it has that's different than the other things is a wider range of effects. Not compared to Faceplant, but a wider range of effects. It also has a built-in FM engine. And I think that it's also like dirt cheap. I know. But hear me out. So it has an FM engine, it's got a granular engine, it has a lot of really cool options for modulation and stuff, but I don't know how much it is for standalone. But this is actually a really decent synth that's really cheap. It's got great sounding filters, it has a sick wavetable engine that you can build. Hey Kev. Yeah, it's basically iOS Serum. Is anyone making money using this stuff? Yes, you're looking, or you're talking to the person. No, it's not only iOS. but you might get it through... I don't know. Is it only... Wait, is it only Apple Store? Like, do they not sell this as a VST? Oh, wow. I thought that they had a desktop version. Alright, so this is going to go off of the tier list then, because I thought that this was available for PC, and apparently it's not. If you have iOS, go buy this. It's worth it, but we'll skip that one. I'm sorry, that's my bad, everyone. Let's move on to Serum 2, if I can find it. Why? Images... Omnisphere. Okay, so apparently there's a couple of these that I forgot to add. This one... Oh, I guess just these two. Okay. Where is Serum 2? I think that, as of now, this is probably the number 2 spot. I think that Serum 2 is probably the second best. The second best synth to purchase or to own. It has to be on Great. Yeah, if you asked me today, on Wednesday, March 19th of 2025, I think that Serum 2 is the second best synth on the market. Diva Mid, nice. Hell yeah. Serum 2 made me go and buy Serum 1. That's fair. And speaking of, I guess since we should tackle this, is I still think that this is the best. This is number 1. I don't think that there's any competition with Faceplant, to be honest. Like, I don't even think that it's like... I don't even think that this, or everything else that is going to be below this, is in the same league as this. Yeah, Faceplant is number 1. And it could be biased, but to be honest, I think that I could legitimately back up why Faceplant is the best. Both with the sounds that I have and logic and, you know, just the argument for it. The thing about Faceplant and why I praise it so much is because everything that you do for it, it ends up giving back to you. CPU heavy, but an absolute giant. It's really not, though. Like, it doesn't have to be CPU heavy. It scales. Like, if you're just using it as, say, like a Serum clone, it's probably more efficient than Serum. But because it scales, and because it has an infinite ceiling based off of what your CPU can handle, that means that it's going to keep giving back to you. But the crazy thing about it is, if you make a single wavetable, then you have made content for the wavetable, the LFO table, the shaper table, and the filter table. If you make a multipass rack or a snap heap rack, you save those, you can pull them up and then stack them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, FM8 is on the list. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, Faceplant is so far beyond anything else available. My one gripe with it is that, as powerful as it is, I don't think that it sounds as good as the other options. So you are kind of sacrificing, I guess, like, quote-unquote quality for just sheer amount of power, but you can make up for it with third-party effects. Oh, it does. It does. It does all that. It does not do spectral... Well, I guess it does do spectral stuff to some degree with the filter table, but it doesn't have a spectral synth. But the granular engine is incredible. The sampler is, I guess, more than adequate. You can FM those and do all kinds of crazy shit with them. It just... Dude, Faceplant is just... I think Faceplant is the end game of sound design. As far as synthesizers go. Are Wave synths on the list? Codex is not on the list. Please do Sound Factory. Doesn't sound as good as which others. I actually think that Current sounds better than Faceplant. Still sounds better than Serum. Next version of Faceplant add warp modes. Well, warp mode's already built in because you just, instead of thinking about it like a warp mode, just use a wavetable. It's the same thing. It can be slow. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, warp modes are in the wavetable editor. But you can just use a custom wavetable to do whatever you want to do with it. MIDI tech from Serum to PP is fire. Yeah, I agree. current is between must-own and great, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's where we placed it. I will say that I'll probably move this here. Yes, it can. You can do it with filter table. Should rate all the Ableton synths as one synth. That's too much to cover, to be honest. Okay. So, in my opinion, I think that the only reason why current is below vital is because vital is free. But I would say if we were talking about from a quality perspective, it would be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So if this is what you came for the top 4 best synths on the market, this would be my personal opinion. Gotta get going for now, but have fun. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Have a great day. The reason why this isn't great though is because this still costs like $200.
Recording to logbook.
Thank you, Siren. I appreciate it. But so that's just my opinion. If you agree or disagree, that's totally fine too. But everything else after this is just going to be, you know, what's below these guys. But yeah, if we were to talk about that, that would be. I'd also definitely put this above. Yeah. Okay. What should we cover next? Let's talk about something funky. How do you all feel about Twin 3? I think personally Twin 3 is on the lowest, or would be on the low tier of great. I like Twin 3 a lot. The thing about, we'll cover that one next, Headbite. The thing that I like about Twin 3 is that you see that this has a parametric filter built into it. What makes that so cool is that it bridges into a lot of physical modeling stuff. And you can also, like, the patches and all that actually have, like, a really good sound. Dude, is this just broken? Or what the Holy shit. Yeah, underrated isn't a tier, but I personally think that Twin 3 has a lot of great stuff. I would get it on sale. Oh, maybe I demoed this or something. I don't remember if I bought this or not. But I do have this on iPad, and it's definitely not disappointed me. So I think that it's probably on the lower tier of great. Or not quite mid, maybe not quite great, but I think that's pretty good. Let's go to... What were you going to talk about? M Sound Factory? I think this is M Sound Factory. So I'm pretty sure that most of you all think that this is at least here. I have never used this before, so please tell me about this because I've heard good things about it. I will also say, like, I can't stand Melda as far as their interfaces go, but why is M Sound Factory worth having? No, Citrus isn't in there. It's not generally it's a first party. Where would I put Falcon? I'm gonna put that in the lowest of low tier. I cannot stand Falcon. Foreshadowing. You get access to the entire Melda plugin library, but it's expensive though, isn't it? Isn't it like $1,000 or something? I did it for the cat grows. If Image Line, VSTs were here, I'd sweep Citrus and Harmor. I would too. If they sold Harmor on the market, I'd still buy it. It has such a depth, or it has as much depth for sound design as Faceplant if you can stand the UI. Okay, so maybe we put this like here? There's nothing it can't do, so to speak. Harmor is goated as hell. Yeah, but it's not third party, so yeah. Well, I guess I can't really speak on M Sound Factory, but like I said, I've heard nothing but positive things from it, so I guess I'll leave it up to chat to figure that one out. This is around 250, definitely not 1,000, but it feels reasonable. Hi, Pop. Everybody go follow PopBot. How did Twin make it into great? That was my own personal thing. I actually really like Twin 3. I think that Twin 3 is a better virtual analog than this by a long shot. Has awesome samples. Some of the free Melda stuff is nice, but you can't save settings like the UI scale. I wouldn't say that Twin 3 can do almost anything, but with the physical modeling stuff behind the filters, I've made drums in this, I've made neurobass in this, and it's basic, but it does enough timbre-wise to get you started. Yeah, I personally like it a lot. I'm glad Harmer is getting love. It's one of my favorite synths. Curious why Diva is mid. We already talked about it. I would say just scroll back and, you know, you can kind of just use the quick scrub and do that because I'm trying to move forward if you don't mind. Wonder if I get much bang buck with Twin 3 compared to some of the other virtual analog synths. I think Twin 3 is great just because of the UI. Don't really love the way it sounds, but the UI is amazing. Yeah. I actually got it for about 300 British pounds by exploiting a bug on Plugin Boutique. 300 for M Sound. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my synth. I'll say that. Okay, let's continue the Serum clone train. How do you all feel about... I'm just putting it here. This isn't how I feel about it, but just to highlight it. How do you all feel about Ghost? I cannot speak on Ghost. There's certain things that I've heard that it does that seems really cool. For example, it's like a wavetable operator engine. The one thing that I did have a conversation with the dev about, and I was like, does it have a wavetable maker? And they said no. And I was like, what are you doing? So there's that. I don't believe in ghosts. But yeah, I mean, the concept of it is cool, right? Because that means that you've got this really cool, you know, matrix table for routing and whatnot. Yeah, I'd say it's relatively new. Dev is awesome. I haven't used it, but pretty sure they made their own framework in C+ for it. Lots of my friends have spoken very well about it. I have not used Lion, but that's one that we forgot to add. Shouldn't the sound quality of the VST be the most important factor over the power of it, or what's capable of making? Well, I mean, sound quality is kind of hard to judge. You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of a preferential matter to that, so it's almost difficult to even discuss because that's going to be something that will divide all of us more than, hey, what can it do? You know what I'm saying? I haven't really come across any synths or whatever that sound like complete dog shit. But rhizomatic plasmonic, is that like a relatively generic synth? Has the same tiny mode problem that Pigments when you're modulating? No, for the complete Melda bundle. Sorry, I'm getting lost. What? Do what? Okay, so I guess we'll put Ghost and We Don't Know. I think this is going to be the first one here because it seems like not enough people have used it. I have interest in it, but I don't have enough data to put it in a category of where it belongs. Does that seem fair? $300 for the complete... okay, got it. Basically semi-modular as well. Gotcha. Internal oversampling, they should all sound the same. Well, the algorithms are different, so they don't sound the same, but I think it's hard to talk about what quote-unquote sound quality is, you know? Let's talk about Avenger. I've never used Avenger. I've looked at it. I think that it's a nightmare to look at, but I've heard that it's pretty powerful. Where do you all feel like this belongs? More of a DC comic guy, F tier. To be honest, Avenger is great. What makes it great? It's great or a must-have? Tell me why. I'd rather Nexus than Avenger. Never heard of it. Avenger is from all the people that did the Vengeance samples. All works really well. Filters are amazing sounding. Has huge sample library. Has ARP, drum sequencer, 8 oscillators. Hi, Bliss. Okay. I don't know about this, but the Vengeance drum samples sound terrible. I mean, they do now, right? Those didn't age very well. Avenger reminds me of a workstation keyboard. I haven't used Avenger, but I think it's really good for songwriting tools since you can layer drums, bass, synths, and leads. That is pretty cool. And I would definitely say that because of that, this is probably one of the most versatile synths available. So how do you feel if we put it right next to maybe here? Crashes a lot, it's old, I don't have it anymore. It's actually a synth that I'd like to see. Manuel Scheiss is Legend Grain FM drum machine, DAW in a box. Okay, I'm so sorry, you'll have to leave that in the comment section or something because I'm beyond the point of adding new stuff. I apologize. The Melda site awards you a discount if you buy from a retailer based in the Assumption. Pigments mid, LOL, you've got an extra chromosome. Lol. Okay, well, sure. So anyway, what do you all think about Cult? Cult is overrated? Thanks, Gloom. Oh, pigments? Yeah, we already talked about pigments. It's fun for pads. Beat me to it. Is this something that you all feel is... I knock it down to doo-doo trash just for that? I don't know. You know, it's super helpful to be like, hey, if you actually listen to what we have to say, then maybe you might find out why it's where it is. But, you know, what can you say? I personally love Cold, but it certainly has its focus. OP next gen, fun level. Yeah. Colt is like CPU assassin #1. With Pigment's mid placement, Modal Engine is incredible, everything else rather using Serum. That was kind of the consensus pop bot. So I built up my loyalty discount and plugins. Better than Diva. It's for atmospheres and rumbles more than an overall synth. That's kind of what I was thinking. So we'll probably just leave it in we don't know because I don't really feel like this is like meant to be a super versatile synthesizer. Try using 2 Colts at once and not fry eggs with your CPU. Fair. I use it for basses, but I always have to keep them simple and resample to keep it stable. Colt is dope, but I prefer to use other because of workflow. Hi, Alex. It's not I love Colt, there's a fair category for it. Synplan is not on the list. That's a very specific synthesizer, like meant to do like one specific task. I hate the Dawson preset browser. Zyklop Myth, worth a look. Okay. You can mod in it, it goes nuts. I guess since we're on that note, has anybody used... Is this it? Has anybody used FM? Or FM? Which is a fantastic marketing ploy. This is also by Dawson, I believe. What do you all think about FM? We'll talk about FM8 next. You didn't like it at all? Novum is favorite Dawson synth. Generate is newfangled. I put it on Don't Bother. Best FM synth ever? Ori? Yeah, best name, for sure. I think that the marketing name was great. I don't know, on paper it looks really cool, but I don't know, I haven't experienced it at all. I'm going to exhort violence on my monitor because it's flashing. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. It's like hyperpop only. Traction puts their synths on sale from time to time. Is the Traction DAW worth buying? I thought the Traction DAW was free. Dude, I love your videos. Yeah, everyone go follow Alex. Generate is my go-to for West Coast booklet type sounds. But it's the reason why I didn't put generate on there is because it's not like a great overall synth. It's like only meant for specific stuff. So I guess we'll put FM and don't bother based off of what you all are saying. So it's created with the partials mentality of layering oscillators to create a full sound. Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. I put Twin 3 on don't bother. I like Twin 3 personally. And I will say, like, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, but your opinion is fine too. For 179, have we discussed Icarus 3? We put Icarus 2 in there, but we haven't talked about it yet. Spire's right here. I think there's 2 instances of them. We will talk about that in a second. I think a good UI goes a long way. Also, hi, I'm new here. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. How do you all feel about... Let's see what's next. How do you all feel about Razer? Reactors included in here. I think, personally, Razer is hella overrated. Never tried it. So, like, on one instance, it's one of the very few, like, dedicated additive synths, but it was terrible on CPU. I feel like a lot of the sounds were very samey about being, like, lasery. I think it looks cool, but it just always felt... It never felt, like, unique on its own. It was like, it does one sound, and that's it. Yeah, VCV rack is in there, and Cardinal is as well. Base design mostly because it came with complete stuff. Overrated, everything sounds like AU 4.5. That's my sentiment as well. It seems like this was like pre-AU 5, AU 5 sounds. Sometimes Spire. It was focused for sure. Use it as a vocoder a few times. Oh yeah, I forgot that it could do that. That is kind of cool. For the sounds that it does, I love it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it in overrated just because I think it's okay, but I also hate synthesizers that have to be used as a host in something else. You know what I mean? Like, if I have to pull up Reactor to pull up the synth, I don't like doing that. If I have to pull up Complete to use the synth, I don't like doing that. The one caveat to something like Complete is if you pull up a sample library and it's just the library, you don't touch it. You know what I mean? It's just ready to go. But if it's like a plugin and a plugin and a plugin and a plugin, then yeah, that's just my own personal thing though. You can save it as a preset in Bibwig though. Yeah, that's still an extra step that you have to do though. And I don't like doing that. Razer shouldn't be in this list. It's a specific synth. I don't know. Has anybody made additive drums before? It's almost usable. Okay, we can put it there. I understand the sentiment of it's not a versatile synth. That's okay with me. How do you all feel about Hive 2? I don't bother with Reason for the same reason. I don't know, maybe you should try Logic. So Harmer can do some badass perk and kicks. But it's not third party, so... Sorry to be a geek, but Super Collider should get an honorable mention. Is Super Collider a generic synth? Or is it just like one specific thing? Unison Audio commercial, lower tier. We don't talk about Unison Audio here. I have bad taste with Adidas, so I don't want to get Hive. These plugin developers come up with really cool synth plugins. Wait, you got VCV Rack and Cardinal in the list? Those are full-on Eurorack host generators. They're also... Yeah, I do have those in here. I mean, I feel like if we're going to talk about Faceplant, you have to talk about VCV Rack and Cardinal. Don't bother or one tier up. I tried to use Hive. I felt like Hive felt like Silent to me. And I thought it was okay, but I don't really feel like it was all that great whenever I used it. Granted, this was like 10 years ago, but I don't know. I didn't really find anything unique about it that was like, oh, this is worth using. It sounds good though. If I have it, I might be tempted to try it. Hive and Dune are super comparable, right? I think so. Those are kind of more... Thank you, Bill. Billum instead of FM. Let's not forget about Tone too. No, we haven't. Dune has more weapons. want to see where he puts Dune. It's not going to be for me to put. I've never used Dune, to be 100% transparent. Yeah. So do y'all think mid, overrated, don't bother? It doesn't seem like people have really strong feelings about this in particular. Mid. At best. Mid. Don't bother. Okay, cool. I think Dune is right here, so we can talk about that. This is Dune 3, right? Yeah. So tell me about Dune 3. Because I've never used it. Dune sounds fat. Dune is like a better diva. For me, I heard it's pretty nice. It's great. Okay. Dune is great for pads. It's super nice with multiple effects buses. I like Dune. It's got a straightforward UI and quick to make chunky analog sounds with. Good for chord stacks. I'm waiting for 50% special. One person says don't bother. Low CPU. Unique unison voicing. Thanks, Richu. It's like a better cinematic diva. It's a super powerful synth, but you have to talk to it in code. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. You have like 8 layers of different presets. Hive is between great and mid in my honest opinion. Don't use it, but heard great things about it. Highly capable, old school knob focus UI. Great sounding unison, awesome for ravey sounds, but you can create a lot with it. Mid-tier synth plugin. I think most people say that it's great, so we'll probably leave it there. I don't know where I would put it on this list. That's not for me to find out, but we'll just toss it in there for generic stuff. Most of the live coders operate. It's pretty good. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's... Please don't take this for gospel either. Other than these, the 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the only thing that I'm actually like very strongly opinionated over. Other than that, everything else in between is like, okay, whatever. I don't know what live coders means. All right, Contact. I feel like Contact is definitely on the great list. I think that... Does Decent Sampler do all the shit that Contact does? Or is Decent Sampler purely just a rompler? Because I didn't add it, but the thing about Contact is that it does a lot of shit. Thank you, Dave Moore. Contact is overrated. I mean, is it though? If you think about it, almost every orchestral library is hosted in Contact. Does Decent Sampler have key switches? I don't know. Contact has such a massive amount of free libraries, you can't really go wrong. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing too, is that it's another one of those like free, it can be free resources that gives you access to a lot of real live instruments, you know? And even though I don't use that stuff a lot, most of the sounds and whatever, as you, like, we've been listening to my music this whole time, I don't really use a lot of live instruments and stuff, but to kind of like dismiss that and only say like, oh, you know, whatever, I still think that it belongs in great. Falcon equals Contact plus Serum. No, we haven't talked about Falcon yet. Actually, I've talked about Falcon on the channel. Fuck Falcon. I can't stand it. 100%. It has so much potential, but I cannot stand that fucking thing. Highly intuitive, modulation capable of multiband splitting and various effects. Yeah, I think that it still belongs in great. Contact is great for orchestra, I use it all the time. So many, yeah, that's my problem. Falcon is better than Contact. Falcon and overrated. I'm putting Falcon at the very bottom. I've had it since 2018 and can't stand it. So we'll talk about that here in a bit though. Let's see, what's next? Let's talk about Spire, because Spire is kind of an OG subtractive synth that I never really got into, but I've heard, you know, some relatively good things about. I think that this caters more to like trance or techno or something because of the, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a virtual analog synth, right? Falcon, I am to understand, is the most powerful synth that exists. I hard disagree. I think that I think that it has a lot that it can do, but no, that's a hard disagree for me. We should cover Nexus after. Synthesize something in it? I would not. I'm not saying I would, but you can. Spire is great. I love Spire. I use it all the time. Synth 1 is super S tier, by the way. No. Contact, Falcon, Hallian. I bought Synth Anthology 4 from UI and it's trash. Yeah, I don't like most of the stuff that UVI does. I like the way that some of their things look, but their user interface for most things, I always have something to complain about with them. Spire was amazing. Now it's super limited, but sounds great. I'd put it in mid. Okay. I'm going to ask you all to take your rose-colored glasses off and we'll throw it there. This is a very old synth, by the way. It's like, what, 15 years old or something? It's probably better than Contact. Yeah, I can't stand UVI stuff. I think that the presets of Falcon sound great. But other than that, I have done an extensive amount of sound design in it and I can't stand it. Contact for switching and articulations. Is Spire an additive engine? Yeah, it's unbearable. Maybe I should have done like the multi-sampler engine stuff in a separate video and then just let chat go ham. Because I feel like I've already spent too much time on it. Also, just so that way we are clear. This is how I feel about it. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to dislike the video. I don't fucking care. I cannot stand working with Falcon whatsoever. And it's not because I don't know how to use it. Okay, let's talk about Nexus now. I think it's somewhere down here. Here it is. So apparently Nexus has an engine now, right? It's not just a Rompler. Yeah, judging in this sense. Either overrate or great. It's in here. Surge. We haven't talked about it yet though. But it can be debated. Same price, but just better. If you're gonna pay the full price for Nexus, just get a workstation keyboard. My big qualm with Nexus is that it has the reputation of iLock, and I can't fucking stand iLock. Nexus was ass, now it's pretty mid. Has great presets like Omnisphere. But they're trying to charge $4 grand for their full library? Are you serious? You for real? Not as good as Omnisphere for preset junkies, but IMO has more modern sounds. But 250? $4 grand?
Recording.
$4 grand? Yo, thank you so much, JR. I appreciate it. It's not faceplant. Yeah, it's not faceplant. Everything else. If it's not faceplant, everything goes in don't bother. Workstation is better than Contact for articulations. Mid or below is fair. If we're talking about Nexus before Nexus 5, then yeah, it's a not bother. I don't know what this is. It's just Nexus, so whatever that's supposed to be. Ugh! Oh my god, that is insane. iLock as a software isn't an issue. I bought Vocal Strip 2 from SSL and iLock activated in 30 seconds today. iLock is the worst fucking thing to ever happen to electronic music. That's an opinion, but that's how I feel. Yeah, Faceplant is in its own tier. Let's talk about FM8. I think FM8 is still great. There's nothing, in my opinion, that has as much versatility as an FM engine as FM8. And many other wholeheartedly agree iLock is absurd. Yeah, it's terrible. I have so much shit from other computers that I can't access because of iLock. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my mind is not going to be changed on that. Never aside hearing great things about it. At least you don't need to use a dongle for iLock. That's true. That's fair. Best third-party FM synth since Citrus is out of the market. We talked about Avenger 2. We also talked about Ghost. Ghost is in the I don't know category. I wish Reactor was more easy to route stuff and connect modules. Isn't it, like, since Reactor 6, they added the blocks and stuff, and so now isn't it kind of on par with, like, Bitwig stuff? But it is a breeze to use. Alex, if you use this, did they ever add, a wavetable maker, or no? Sorta. Have to wonder why they discontinued Citrus as a VST. Yeah, I don't know. Reactor Blocks is almost exactly like VCV Rec now. I don't know. I haven't used it. No, not yet, sadly. Okay, well, we can revisit that whenever, if and when they do. How is it better than FM? FM is in Don't Bother. Does Volta's Modular happen to be on here? Cherry Audio is, and VCV Rack is. Either registered to dongle or iLog Cloud, which is just regarded. Yeah, it's still a pain in the ass. Let's talk about Sylenth 1. I think Sylenth 1 was great for its time, but they have not done any updates to it in like, what, 20 years? And I cannot recommend, like, asking somebody, or like, cannot recommend someone purchase this. I know, it was great for its time. I got into Sylenth because of Seven Lions. It sounds great, but it's a very limited engine, especially now these days. And like I said, I can't give somebody any reasoning behind why they should pick that for a purchase. Sylenth Hills. FM8 is a lot more CPU friendly than FM and is often on sale for like 10 bucks. The inner hardstyle in me wants to put it super high, but it's so limited. Don't buy it, like every hardstyle producer uses it. Yeah, I think that, it's not that this is a bad synth. I just think that it's been overshadowed now by more modern stuff. Oh, of course, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do you all remember when Ableton Live 10 came out and Kill the Noise did like a meme dub over that and used that sound? And then everybody on the internet was like, ah, I see what you did there. That was pretty fun. It's like its own thing. Yeah, I think it's aged okay. I just don't think that it's strong enough to stand on its own anymore. Yeah, it was a great video. Oh, here's one. Talk to me about ZebraLet 3. What is the big deal with it? I haven't used it. I don't personally care for it, but I know that a lot of people have been excited about it. So why are people talking about this? We did talk about Spire. Excuse me. It's pretty unique. What makes it unique? Makes me excited for the full version. It's ugly. Monophonic, otherwise godlike wavetable editor. It does a lot of creative stuff. It's okay, I guess. Has some cool spectral oscillators. It's a grid-based wavetable maker with nice spectral effects. Oh, so I'm guessing that this is just the synth portion of it, of ZebraLet, to where like it has a lot of things that you can edit as the synth engine itself, but maybe doesn't have all the baked-in effects and like post-processing and stuff. Would that be fair to describe that? But because it has spectral processing to the wavetable, it's like maybe a really good starting point for sound design or something of the sort. Does that seem fair?
Recording to logbook.
Yo, thank you for the follow, Drainbone. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, I get it. The name is goated. So would you all put this in great? You can get very minimal. You can get very minimal with your tweaks. So it's like very precise. Really good synth with no effects. Yeah. So would you all say great or it's also free? Mid? Maybe top of mid? Bottom of great? Zebra LED is free. Zebra is not free. Bottom of great. How lucrative is sound design? I mean, my entire career is based off of selling preset packs. I have 2 tracks signed to a label, and I don't make jack shit off of that. Actually, I make decent money off of the subscription thing that I have off my website, but most of my income is from selling presets or samples. So it's still lucrative, but the thing is like you have to have you kind of have to build a status for yourself before people become interested in that kind of thing. Did some stuff on ZebraLet 3, it's fun, but it kills my CPU. Motorola, sponsor our man out here. Agree on top of mid. Okay, we'll let that float. I'm not super hard pressed on putting it into one of these categories, but it seems to be bottom here, top of here maybe. If there's pigments in Diva. Okay, maybe there. Understood, thank you. Yeah. There's also like sound design for video games and music and movies and all that other stuff, which I don't do. I would check out Venus Theory's channel for that, but for me, I make sounds for music producers. I make sounds for people to explore sonic libraries with, and so I also have a very specific niche on how I make money. Yeah, we can talk about Zebra 2. It's on here. I just need to find it. Here it is. Okay, Zebra 2. I can't personally recommend buying Zebra 2 in today's day and age, but it was really cool for its time way back in 2013/2014. Like, now that I think about it, Zebra 2 could do some wild shit back in the day. But I know Vital's in here twice, but it's not on this twice. Venus scored the game Avowed. Yeah, he's scoring another game right now too. If Massive is great, so is Zebra 2. Zebra needs an update. It's coming. Zebra 3 is coming out soon. Or maybe not soon, but they're working on it openly. Has some funky comb filters. The thing that I dislike about Zebra is that it was never fun to work with. Like, I don't like the workflow of it. It sounded great, but I hated working with it because it was such a pain to like try to get and dial in things. Like with the modulation of like how, I don't know, if like the oscillators on the left side and then the effects or whatever are on the right side, but you could put the shapers on the left side, but then it has a matrix table and then you can kind of like, it felt very clunky to me. Has unique features and effects, a lot of modularity, just not very visual. Yeah, those Zebra MSEGs. If you get the Plugmon reskins, it's a lot better to work with. Consider making bank for Korg Multipoly. It's also in hardware. I might, if there's enough interest. I mean, for the most part, my channel is fueled by Bitwig and Faceplant, Ableton, Current. So that's kind of the stuff that I design things for. But if there's interest in it, then I would. You have to realize that if I take the time to build a bank, like, it's not something that I do in an afternoon. That shit takes me months. So I have to be very careful about how I choose what banks to make, because if it flops and nobody buys it, then that's not good for me. You get what I'm saying? So like, it's a game that I have to play, and so I try to be very choosy about what I decide to make content for, unless if I absolutely love it and I can be like, hey, this is a good synth that's worth buying. This is a, you know, something that I think a lot of people will appreciate. But that's kind of few and far in between, to be honest. Yeah, time is money. And also, keep in mind that, like, I stream 4 days a week, and for the most part, I Is this... Yeah, all this music that we've been listening to is all my music. We haven't played anything otherwise. Synth is overrated. K-Pal. We just talked about it. Figure out why. I always love when like people just barge in here and they're like, my synth is in, don't bother, how dare you, blasphemy. I'd also recommend that you read the description. That might help. It might help. Roland's in. In case if I have to say it, it's just for fun. Yeah. Thank you. One more time for the people in the back. What do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about something random, like Odin. Oh, sorry, we didn't get to the bottom of Zebra 2. So, I like Zebra 2, but I don't really like the workflow behind it. What do you all think? You think that it belongs in Great? Do you think that Zebra 2 is better than Massive? Let's say that, in today's day and age. I don't know anything about what Roland is doing with that stuff. So... Definitely, I own one synth in Serum 1 and 2. Alright, so we'll put it there. Original Zebra is like very... This is Zebra 2. Odin is amazing and it's free. What makes Odin good? Yeah, I agree with you, Gloom. And I like that you can make your own wavetables in it, so that's there. And if I'm not mistaken, Zebra 2 came out before Serum. Odin is basically a free Thor with an extra oscillator modes. That sounds pretty cool. I think that Thor sounds really good, so I'd say it's at least top of mid. It's kind of hard to judge because obviously I've never even heard the thing before, but what would you all say? Maybe top of mid? Zebra 2, don't bother. Both do have strong histories. Multi-indent, 2 filter, and free. Couldn't get around the UI. I'm spoiled by other nice UI synths. Hi, welcome to my world in Faceplant. 3 oscillator and 3 filter for free. Decent. So maybe in the middle of mid then. Gotta go now, have fun. Thanks for coming in. Faceplant, don't bother. Get out. I'm just kidding. Get out right now. Odin might be mid. It's got some hype. Odin being free. Odin is a gen. Yeah, so maybe here. I feel comfortable with that. Ban that guy right this second. No, it's fine. Yeah, see Alex. Thanks for coming in. The LFL ADSR is quite dated as in basic, but you can make really big sounds with it because of routing flexibility. Alright, let's talk about Surge. Surge is another free one. I know that it's had a really good reputation for a long time, and I'm pretty sure that it's still free. It's been a while. How do you all feel about Surge XT in today's day and age? No, I don't know of any other synth that has games built into it, Skrig. So I put it in mid tier for that reason. You have limited movement. Surge's bottom great. For my 2 cents is great. It has some unique stuff that has been added recently to the update, if I'm not mistaken, right? My synth TM best synth. It's supposed to be nice and free. Well, what makes it great? Like, what's good about it? You use Surge a little, but it seems super powerful. Gotta know what you're doing, though. Yeah, I don't like the way it looks either, but I've never messed with it enough. Air windows included in it. Is it from the same dude? Hey, Katarjo. I think I downloaded it, opened it twice, maybe like 10 years ago, and I was like, ah, it's okay. Oh, it just uses the open source plugins. Gotcha. Only way to upgrade PP is giving Melda UI elements. Air windows, did he ever make a full-on synth? I don't think so. Do we have any good plug data synths yet? Not that I know of. Included air windows effects on it. It has built-in syn/parallel effects. 6 oscillators. Okay. So maybe bottom of great? I don't know, does this seem appropriate? Oh, it's old, but I love DRC by Imaginato. I've never even heard of that before, especially analog sounding stuff. I concur. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's free. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to knock things off when you don't have to pay for it. Pretty unique sound generators on top of normal ones. It has insane presets though, which really displays its strength. All right. High modulation, free, lots of oscillator modes. There's some sick plug data effects from you and Bristow, but no synths I've seen. I don't even know what that is. Unique filters as well. Excuse me. Okay. Synth 1. People in the back with your muscle shirt buttoned up. Tell me about this. The last one that we covered was Surge XT. I prefer Synth 2. I prefer Synth 9000 to be honest, but I don't know. Looking at this just feels like I'm looking at barf, but I mean, hey. Noisa used it? Okay, that shit. Ah, fuck. That's all you had to say. Damn. Synth 1 better than Phase Plant. Looks like Space Jam. Maybe don't use the first synth you find. It uses -1 CPU. Sheesh. Laughing my ass off. Hey, if Noisa uses it, like, come on. What are you doing? What are we doing here? This is a Neuro channel, right? I think it's supposed to be a Nord lead clone, but who wants a Nord lead clone in 2025? You can literally feed it with Nord lead presets if you need. That's kind of cool. I don't know. So what? Maybe somewhere here, since it's also free. Probably the first skinnable synth. It's got like a million presets, but it produces very samey results. Nord lead, not Juno. But how many different... I mean, I guess you could, but how much variety can you get with... Why does it look like that now? Good God. Yeah, okay. My eyes hurt looking at this. Never mind. I'm ready to move on. It looks disgusting. It's got the classic presets. The classics! Definitely ugly UI. Eventually all sound like background 80s music. Adderall Orchestra is my favorite synth. Does Phase Plant have 20k presets? Honestly, myself alone, I have probably over 1,000 presets. Maybe 2,000 presets. Don't bother in 2025. Tesla was in love with a pigeon. Doesn't mean pigeons are a viable partner. I'm sorry, what? For all we know, Noisa likes to torture themselves. True. Mini Chord Pack is my favorite synth. I'm gonna get that old guy that's like 80 years old who used this on all of their old trance tracks, and they're gonna be like, I can't believe that you would do this to me. Yeah, what can you say? 3x oscillator wins, guys. Serum 2 above must own. Back in the day, Sandstorm was made on it. Oh shit, man, back up here. You're really giving me a compelling argument. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Alright, let's talk about Cyclop. Cyclop is another OG, but not quite as OG as Synth 1, but how do you all feel about this? No love for Plasmonic. Nobody mentioned it before we started, so I didn't bring it up, I'm sorry. Holy mackerel, you young whippersnapper, put Synth 1 lower tiers below the newfangled synths? What are you doing? Oh no! No joke, I use 3... That's fair, but 3x Oscillator is a first-party synth. Oh god, how bad do you think that this is going to be if we do a DAW tier list next time? Cyclop looked to cash in the bro step, and it failed hard. Yeah, true. I mean, it was really big on, like, growl basses and stuff. God, the internet is going to... I know, the internet is going to fucking make me explode because they're going to be so upset that I put Bitwig at #1. How dare you? Pro Tools is the industry standard? You know, I think the problem with it though is that a lot of other people who have done DAW tier lists most likely have not used the other DAWs, and also like don't really make music like that. They just are music YouTubers, and so like their experience with it is incredibly limited. Harmer is not on this list. It's not a third-party synth. We're discussing first-party synths Bitwig built in the grid. We're not discussing first-party synths. It's not on them. You know what? 5 years ago, I did a video of clapping your DAW's cheeks, and a lot of people got really upset. It was basically like what your DAW says about you. Somebody reported me, and the video was taken down for being offensive and vulgar. So that tells me enough about how the community feels about their FL Studio. Yeah, it got taken down. So I was just like, wow, okay. What can you say? Farmers don't bother. I wouldn't say that, but we're not talking about that right now. The FL bullet. Oh, Jesus. Where's my drum pattern? People being defensive of a fucking tool. Yo, man, it's like, it's tribalistic, man. They canceled me before GTA 6. Okay, so the goal is to just try to get my career to last as long as GTA 6. Oozly, thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we'll keep this and don't bother. I don't see any reason to buy this. Here's one. I think this is Rapid. How do you all feel about Rapid? Is this Rapid? I want to say it is. Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about Rapid. I've never used it myself. That 80-year-old joke was hilarious. This isn't Rapid? Oh, maybe this is Synthmaster 3, sorry. Whereas... Here it is. My bad. This is Rapid 3. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Thank you, Alchemist Maximus. I like your name. I see you. Rapid's not fast enough. Rapid is great. Why is it great? I don't even know what Zyclop is. Is Rapid Rapid? I don't know. I'm trying to find out. I have to rely on chat because I've never used this before. I remember Venus Theory had a few videos on it back in the day, but I don't think that it ever took off in popularity. It's Synthmaster and it's good. We'll talk about that in a second, Jason. Is Rapid Native Instruments? No, it's from a different company. Worked out while watching this out. Thank you. Yeah, dude. Thank you for just kind of having it in the back. Tomophon is underrated. It's not... Tomophon isn't really like a... It's not really like a... It's a very specific niche synth. I see Diva is in mid. Is there a better analog option? It's a good question. I think so. I mean, even Arturia Labs, right, is just as good. Had granulator oscillator before PP. Huge modulation possibilities, good effects table, wave table. Yeah, the V collection, I would say. The traction analog bundle is better. I don't like the V collection. The V collection is not going to make it on here because like these are just a bunch of synths. Diva in mid because of CPU, but then Serum 2 and Must Own. I don't really agree with Serum 2 as a CPU hog. Granted, it will probably be better. You can't, honestly though, like you can't compare Diva to Serum 2 because the functionality of those are like, yeah, like how could you not weigh Serum above Diva? Like just feature wise, right? Of the sheer amount of stuff. Diva has the creamiest analog sounds to date, IMO. Yeah, I'm not trying to take that away, but to be honest with you, in 2025, with how they have it updated, it's expensive, it's CPU intensive. We already talked about Diva, and that wasn't my decision. That was kind of a unanimous thing. Serum is better, but Diva is definitely not mid. I'm gonna leave it. Read the description for more information. People will say Diva is CPU hot since day one, and Yuhi is like, well, who's ready for Vital 2? Real talk, what is the actual sonic quality that Diva is providing? Is it warmth? Like, my guess is that, like, so whenever you say... Hold on. In order to address this, we need to talk about what makes analog what it is. When you have a digital signal, it is always represented exactly the same. It's recreated exactly the same. So if I create a sine wave, the algorithm is going to use the same calculations. When we talk about analog, it's voltage based. And so that's always going to give it a very specific character. Who makes the best Diva presets? Yeah, nonlinear stuff. We're talking about electrical currents, all that. So that's why the character from a physical standpoint gives it what it is. Yes, it does make a difference. When we talk about virtual analog, what it does is it tries to, as closely as possible, recreate a lot of what the analog or what voltage does. So maybe they take this algorithm of a range of variables and try to cycle it in between that. I don't really know because I'm not a DSP guy, but I do know that as time goes on, what's it called? Like, it's getting better and better. And in my opinion, I actually really like the analog sounds of Twin 2. So I can't really say whether or not it sounds as good as Diva, but I can say that it's a lot more fun to design on. It looks a lot better, and I think that it sounds good. So that would be my first go-to. Feel free to disagree. Again, this is just a fun tier list. Please don't come at me with pitchforks and shit. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I can't run Arteria VSTs without losing my mind from the plugins crashing. I don't personally use Arteria plugins other than their effects. And I only use like one or two. Thank you, Prado. Zyclops is a free single oscillator version of Myth. Oh, okay, gotcha. I put it in mid anyway. The analog gimmick isn't for everyone. There's free shit that does the same. Yeah, the Oberheim XD I think is also a good alternative. Diva is so much better with a good skin. I switched to Bitwig solely for the plugin sandboxing so I don't get done dirty by Diva. Sorry, I saw you also said something about Pigments. Oh, I think Pigments is okay. I just... You'd have to scroll back and listen to the reasoning behind it. But the thing is, everyone, is that we're just talking about, like, you shouldn't approach music production. It's a shame that I have to say this, but you shouldn't approach music production as like, what's the best shit? Because the best shit might not vibe with you. Whatever you purchase, whatever you use, don't have buyer's remorse over it. Make yourself learn it and like invest in the tools. Oh my god, that video was the worst. Neurobase and Pigments is... Oh, dude. That was sad. So, and also, like, keep in mind that this is just from a single, like, stream. Like, yeah, we've got 112 people in here, which thank you all, by the way. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's been some people that have come in here already that have, like, been like, I can't believe that you put this in this tier list, whatever. How is this not the greatest thing ever? And it's like, dude, slow down. It's okay. Unbutton your shirt. It's all right. Hi, babe. You know, pop your collar. Get some ice water.
My nose is a little stuffy.
I'm sorry, here, honey. I got you some tea. Give me like a few minutes, and if you want, I'll make you some, okay?
That's kind of you. Yeah, take your time. I had a snack.
You did have a snack?
On the way home, yeah.
Okay. Well, the rice is in the fridge, and so it's ready to fry when I'm done. We don't have too much left to do, okay?
Oh, no, take your time. I might go to the gym, so take your time.
But you're feeling sick.
Recording to logbook.
I didn't have a cold. I'm not like have a flu or anything.
Oh, well, I mean, a cold is still sickies.
True.
Okay. Whatever you want, baby. Hakuda then Tatas. Excuse me, what? What? Has anyone used Fairchild compressor plugin? I have not. That's about finding what clicks. What do you say, babe? They are. They're fantastic. If there's Diva backlash, it's because it's big with trap producers and their super duper mega complex hi-hat rolls. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to flex my ego a bit and probably assume that I know more about sound design than most people. But what can you say? Wait, do you all remember when somebody was arguing with me that FL was the best DAW because they could do hi-hat rolls that were pitched? And I was like, are you serious? Are you fucking kidding? Be so fucking for real, is what Corey says. I'm like, what? That's a good point. You didn't know what to say. I was flabbergasted. Or, as some commenters say, I was salty. That's wild. I should switch to FL. Oh god. Audacity, best DAW. I like the tongue-in-cheek of comparing VSTs. This is like politics, but more lighthearted and less strong feelings and name-calling attached. That's how it should be, right? It should just be like, yo, it's not that big a deal. The best part about FL was the intuitive piano roll. Yeah, now Serum 2 has a piano roll built into it, so what do we do now? The hi-hat rolls in FL taste the best in my city. Get out, Woofy. Just agree with it. Yeah. I know, it's hard, you know. It's hard, especially when people sound like step on your experience, you know, but you just kind of have to accept it for what it is. Like I've realized that the generic hip-hop production world and what they perceive as sound design is a totally different world than, like, you know, the people that I look up to or the music that I make. And you just have to accept that, like, they do not have any clue. And that doesn't make them dumb or anything. It just means, like, you can't talk with somebody about something that they're not even aware of, you know? Milda has S-tier elite plugins hidden behind the most hideous UI, and that is why I will never use them, Time. That is exactly why I'll never use them. I will give them credit that they're fantastic, but I cannot stand to work with them. I require hi-hat rolls for all my orchestral songs. They actually have something like that, right? Like the rolling cymbals. That's actually a thing. That Different World has been the bane of my existence when I was looking for tutorials on sound design. Well, it's hard, right? Because you don't even know what you're looking for. That's why I don't understand the placement of certain plugins on the list. Falcon is at the bottom of the list, Waddles. I'm sorry. That means that they're not fantastic. FL Sound Engine is more oh my god, I remember that. Yo! FL Studio just doesn't have that sound on Mac. Do I still have a Digitac? Yeah, I do. Digitac 2. No, it's not, baby. Pigment sort of gained popularity with them as well to resample one-shots with Granular Engine, and that's why the guy said the stupid thing earlier. I don't know where that person comes from. I just, you know, I tried to avoid any animosity here. Anyone else anticipating the comeback of Cool Edit Pro? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and continue with the list. Synthmaster 3. What are we looking at? Pro Tools faders sound better though. Oh my god, stop. Stop. FL Dick Ryder is crazy. It's not that it's a bad DAW. Dude, Audica used FL to make some of my favorite music, you know? Bunshin uses FL Studio. It's great. The way that people talk about it is just stop. Synthmaster 3 having 3 versions is like a scam. What's different about it? Ableton has the best bypass. Yeah, Seven Lions uses FL. It's the exact same as the first one. I think Synthmaster is super overrated. Like, I even have it for iPad, and I was like, this is whack. It doesn't have an FL, or it doesn't have a wavetable editor. The user interface of it is just like, okay. I can't make a recommendation that anybody buy this. And I think that one of their selling points is like the amount of presets or whatever that it has, but I haven't really heard anything spectacular from this. Am I serious about Cool Edit Pro coming back? Things with Melody UI is it looks like trash, but when your eyes are tired at 3 AM, it's fairly easy to stare at compared to flashy blue and purple thing. I'm rarely serious. All DAWs are meh, that's why I made my own. Okay. I have used Synthmaster 1 and 2 and have had amazing experiences with them. The presets are amazing and Synthmaster 2 has a unique take on an additive and vector synthesis. Okay, that's fair. So where would you place it? Modulation is clunky, a lot of tiny tabs, clickable things. I did it for the cat girls. Fair, bro. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm on top messages. I'm so sorry, everyone. I've been on top messages this entire time. If I missed anything, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I didn't have this set to live chat. I hate that YouTube does that. That makes me so annoyed. Nothing wrong with that. It gives you everything you need. Oh my god, this song was like 2012. We are not going to listen to this right now. Oh god. Oh god. I didn't miss much. Live chat is the best chat. Yeah, fair. I had to go put my son in bed. Where are we? I think the last thing that we talked about was Synthmaster 2, but what was the verdict on Rapid? I heard the synth solo and I'm like, when did he write that? Yeah, it was like 2013. Synth Rookie is bad. Rapid is great. Alright, we'll put it somewhere in great. I make music in DaVinci Resolve. Glad to know I'm cool to be in top chat. That's funny. We talked about Dune, Silent. How do you all feel about Reactor? Reactor 6. What's the most classic one on the list? I don't know. That's a good question. Absolute monster. Fairlight must be screaming on your computer. Reactor is for the people who want absolute control over their audio signal. A lot of the Serum 2 features look like what was added in Synthmaster 2. Probably really strong. I bounced off of Reactor. It's like plug data. Never used it, but it was a thing back in 2009. Infinite possibilities if you know what you're doing. I have to put it in at least grade. I mean, yeah, I mean, it also hosts other plugins, right? So the fact that it's got Modular built into it, plus like user interfaces that you can build, I think on paper you have to at least put that in grade. I would agree. It's extremely similar to Pure Data Max. Serum 2 cleared my acne. Your acne cleared up before GTA came out? Sheesh. Okay. Reactor is great, but you should make a good tier. I tried to make another tier. It wouldn't let me add another one, so I'm sorry. I agree with you, but I guess maybe we could set this as good. There we go. So that's like the best middle ground that I can come up with. You can build your own synths, has scripting. How about Anna 2? I've heard good things about this. Oh my god. I've heard good things about this, but I've never used it before. I'm predicting return of the dance EJ, but are you predicting return of the Mac? Or intermediate friendly though, and not really intuitive for people looking to just jam. Mid? I haven't used it, so I don't know. Modular in a DAW is always too tedious. I've never used that. Don't use Anna. Okay, so we'll leave this in maybe, I don't know. Anna 2 I'm curious about. Looks like a great deal for what you get. Old cool edit. Anna 2 presets are nice. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Is Anna 2 a synth? It tries to be both, and it has nice presets. We did rate Spire. Spire's in good / mid. Piano Tech was not included in this list. Piano 2 is virtual analog. It's the Slate digital workhorse synth.
Recording to logbook.
And it's cracked. Thank you, Matthew B. I appreciate it. Oh, it's a fine thing. Okay, so how about good, maybe? You can't hear any audio? Test? No, my audio's going. That's not me. Vaporizer 2 is a great synth and free now too, but like Vital with an extra oscillator. We might have to do that in 2023. Mod check? Put mid and mid / overrated. Try unmuting Gloom. I mean, maybe his internet service provider just went out for a bit or something. But do we need a mod check on something? Your network whack. You got that whack nerk. Whack. That whack. Net whack. Whack work. Whack net. Whack. I'm on Wi-Fi. Where would you place Vital if it wasn't free? I'd place it below current. Network. Whack nerk. I'm sorry. Yeah, probably below current. I think that current, from a design perspective, is a lot better than Vital. Network. No Zebra 2? What are you talking about? Take out the earplugs, it worked for me. Reactor 6 based. We just talked about Zebra 2. Even I tend to not use that phrase, but yeah, I get the sentiment. What about cult? Or wait, biotech. How do y'all feel about biotech? This list is super biased by shot we used. Oh god, don't make me. No, this synth is a letdown. No, sound bad. So, biotech is a no-go. God tier for memes. What do you mean by those zebras? I can't believe how weak it sounds. This list is completely objective, word of God. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I probably use faceplant for 90% of my synth needs. Yeah, 100%. 90%, 100% of the 90% of the 100% that we're talking about. But not everybody wants to drop $500 on something, and not everybody likes faceplant. I have not tried Hyperion. I like it. Best modulation of any synth. Probably his phase. Do you guys remember the OG Zeta? Yeah, from Cakewalk. Okay, I saw the beginning of Arturia Neurobass video. The final preset sounds cool like a Neuro 808, but definitely not a Neurobass. Jason, I feel like you are giving that so much credit. You are giving that way too much credit. Okay, can we take a quick detour? Yeah, here we go. Do each VSTs have different format for their presets, or do I create preset and are able to use it in multiple VSTs? Every preset is selective towards its own format. So, like, you don't build one preset and it can be applied to anything. Bro, I use Bitwig. You damn right I use Bitwig. Neurobase Arturia. How to create a neurobase sound. $400, usually $300. Biotech 3 is out.
It's Yetunde here, and in this quick Hi everyone, it's Yetunde here, and in this quick video lesson, we'll explore how to create ultra-dense neurobase sounds using Pigment's unique sound design workflow. Let's dive right into it.
Okay.
Neurobase sounds are super fun to make and can get a little crazy at times thanks to their complex tonal. This is how our final patch sounds.
Oh my God, you're kidding. Look, guys, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've spent about a third of my life developing sounds for this genre. Does any of that sound like this? The answer is no. Answer is no.
Patch sounds.
Recording to logbook.
Oh, that hurts my head. That hurts my head. No, it just, thank you for the follow, Spork S. What? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. Sure. A noise base, like that's a totally functional thing, right? I mean, if I've got my own version of that, but it's just a noisy sub. Bro, what do you expect from a tutorial? I don't know. I should ask you because I make tutorials on how to make these sounds that I just played. So actually my expectations are pretty high because I would think that there's probably a lot of people out there that are better sound designers than I am. But that, dude, no. I don't even think that she made that sound, to be honest. So that's like no disrespect towards her or whatever, but that was just like, what? Especially if you were Googling for neurobase. Yeah, well above average. Your neurobase video was great. Thank you for watching that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess if anybody's interested, everything that I know how to do, I have videos on the channel about. So, yeah. And when we talk about making money and stuff, like I make sounds like this and this is what I sell to people. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. We're on the subject of the tier list, but I just had to stop for a second and be like, dude, what the fuck? It's just like, man, It's a tutorial to use the synth. I make tutorials to make the sound. That's not true. I actually, no, I totally disagree. Especially my recent stuff. I make stuff, I teach you how to use the synth and I teach you how to approach the sound. I don't actually teach you how to make something specific. In fact, I really try to get away from that as much as possible. The Arturia bass had like no movement. Yeah, it was like just a, I didn't even know neuro was a genre before I found this channel. That's cool to hear. Dude, what the fuck? But yeah, it totally sounded like that video was just like they spent 3 minutes on it and was like, that's kind of close. She was going to she was going for that OG pre-re sound before they were in all the rage with the kids. Even then, like, I actually would have been okay if it was just like 2 saw waves and a notch filter. I would have been like, you know what, that works. And like maybe some distortion or something. But they just made a noisy 808. I don't listen to any of these genres, but appreciate the videos and contain the effort. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't expect anybody to be listening to my music. Oops, I accidentally. I think. Okay, stop. We're done with you. You can go away. Now. Didn't know a whole lot about halftime until this channel. I'm trying to think about who else has a really cool halftime channel. I don't know. When Cheese starts releasing content, I will definitely let everybody know about that. But yeah, until that happens, I don't know. I think this is Reason Rack. Frequent's not really a halftime guy though. He's an insane wizard and engineer, and I think that he pioneered a lot of stuff with Neurohop, but his direction of where he's taken music lately has like, I feel like halftime has been very specific in like groovy beats and things like in a specific direction where he's like really gone off the deep end with experimental sound design along with musicality. Reason Rack is goated. Yeah, I could see that. I think that it's something that is pretty versatile, right? It feels almost unfair with how this is. I watched a Frequent live stream. That dude just does whatever he wants with sounds and somehow arranges them in a musical way. Yeah, through all the talks that we've had, that's been pretty much what that is. Saludos desde Ecuador. Is that hello from Ecuador? Hello. Also, hi Cyrex. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. I feel like I haven't seen Woofy Cakes in a long time. Winter, how's dad life? Hey Garrett, Richard, DL, George. Is it George or Jorge? Sorry. Mishuga. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, lots of people here. Okay, so I'm guessing that, should we put it in great or do you think that it's a must own? What do you think, Corey? Is Reason Effects a great or must own?
It's great. It's not a must own though.
She says it's great, not a must own though. Mid so-so, I prefer Contact. Jorge, gotcha. I'll remember that next time I see you. Faceplant number 1 from Brazil. Crack open a thing. Italia. Brazil mentioned. Yeah, let's go. I think that it deserves better than mid. I don't like the workflow of it, and I hate working with the cables, and I also cannot stand that the cables are forced into a vertical rack. But I'd be lying if I didn't think that this could do some really powerful stuff. Like the video while you're here? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Dad life awesome. Yeah, the cables knock it down a peg. Mexico, let's go. Yeah, maybe bottom of great. I don't think I would ever buy this, to be honest, but I do see the appeal, and I think that it has a lot of potential. What is this? I don't even remember what this is, what we were looking at, and I hate that this is doing that. What synth is this? Is this Icarus 2, I think? Oh, it's Astra. Astra is the splice synth. Okay, so how do we feel about the splice synth? Is it good? I've never used it. I didn't even know that they had their own synth. Is Reason Rack sub only? If it's sub only, I'm knocking it down like 6 pegs. I thought that there's a buyout option. Is it Australia? That icon is really small and I'm half blind. So it has like FM, PM, granular. Good day, Mike. Why not make presets for the Reason Rack devices? Because I don't like working with it. It's not sub only. You have to buy Reason. I own Reason Rack. I thought you could buy it separately. Yeah, I thought it was a separate purchase. You can buy it separately. I use an FL. I've watched the Fragments tutorial at least 10 times and I still have no idea. Yeah, it looks like there's some really cool, unique devices in there that would be worth exploring, but kind of basic, so to speak. So I don't know, would you say maybe... I don't even feel like it's underrated, but to me this feels like a don't bother. Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting from you. Did we? Yeah, we already reviewed Contact. I don't know what this is. We reviewed that. That's Synthmaster 1. What is this? I think this is the Rob Papin stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go. You have to catch Reason on sale. I spent $450 to own it. Whoa. Blah. Blah. It's like 3 car payments for me. That one is actually Korg M1. Shouldn't be on there because it's an emulation. Is it? Okay. I think this one is Icarus 2. Don't bother, Rob Papin. Not the white synth. No. Okay, how do y'all feel about Icarus 2? But it was wrong? Wait, what? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about this or no? What is this? The synth on the far left. Oh, this? Okay, gotcha. This is not a convolver synth. Oh, this thing? Okay, yeah, this was, I made, like, I just looked up a template for, that's Nemesis. I looked up a template for just, like, a synth tier list, and this was the only thing that came up, but it had, like, duplicates and then, like, random stuff that I had never seen before. Faceplant is 6 tiers too high. You take that back, Jakob. Also hi, long time no see. Okay, let's go one at a time. How do we feel about Nemesis? A month or so ago, I learned that Scott Lloyd Shelley used a lot of Rob Papin synth presets in the Terraria OST. If you play around with the presets, you can probably find Terraria synth sounds. Icarus 2 had to be a downgrade since Icarus 1 flew too close to the sun. Boo! Filters sound good. It has that typical tone 2 sound. I don't even know what that sounds like, to be honest. Halion is expensive also, but it sucks. Everyone go follow Databroth. Everyone go follow Hakobo. Even though he's been low-key, he's still got some good stuff. Oh, it's like plastic. Tone 2 sounds cheap. So where would you all place it? Hi, Eamon. Love you, looks like you're doing awesome. Just dropped to bless you and vanish. Bye. Don't follow me. I don't exist. Don't follow me? Why would you all say that? No, I disagree. 100 people army. Go subscribe to them. They might do something that is really fun or interesting once in a while. I can't accept follows from this list. Don't follow me, I'm lost. Bad association. If you watch Alckemy, I'm not going to tell you anything new. Dang. Ouch. Pigments better be must own. I hate to disappoint you, but Pigments is mid. Tone 2 Electra and Electric 2 are dope. Tone 2 sounds thin, so I'm guessing what we're getting at is maybe don't bother. Because it's also pretty old, right? Too bad, Data Broth, I already do. I'm already in your broth, Data. How about this? Don't follow me, but instead read my reviews of these synths. I have reviews of many of these. Yeah, blog, whatever. Maybe post a link in your YouTube channel where people can find your blog. Is this Cardinal? How do we feel about Cardinal? Pigments can do sick neurobass though. No. When you click my subscribe button, it subscribes you to Data Broth. I'm biased, I love Cardinal. You can easily find my website if you want. I'm trying to give people a place to direct them to. One of them is Cardinal, the other is VCV Rack. They both look almost exactly the same. This seems like it has, I think this is Cardinal. It seems like it has a nicer interface. But, yeah. Somebody tell me about Cardinal. What do you think? I like multiphonic CV better, honestly. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I guess like this isn't going to be a complete comprehensive list, but it's like 95%. Pigments is basically a Waldorf Iridium. We talked about it several times, and then I actually just shat on it about the sounds that it cannot make. Like, I love Arturia, I just don't like Pigments. Cardinal's open source. It's a Eurorack sim, can do audio rate modulation with everything by default, synths, effects, hardware emulations around for analog sound. If you have a nice sweat, they will fly over to your house. We haven't rated VCV Rack right next, but I'm going to do that. I'm assuming that both Cardinal and VCV Rack is probably, well, I was going to say into great, but Cardinal is aight. So would you say mid then? Or good / mid? Cardinal's introduction to Modular, not very beginner friendly, but it can get extremely deep. I mean, how do you feel like that compares in comparison to VCV Rack though? Great, seems alright, good, mid work too. Because I know a lot of people rave about VCV Rack. The number one question you have to ask yourself when trying to figure out if a synth is good or not is, would it be phase plant? Yeah, I have to agree. VCV Rack is a must own in my book. Yeah, Jason has a really good question. Any advantages to VCV Rack over Cardinal? VCV Rack is the same to me. Just more modules. More modules, does not have all the same stuff. Free as host, but not VST, but has paid modules and a more closed ecosystem. It's a great deal. You can use it as effects on your own chain, but only on the paid version though, right? It's called tiermaker.com. If you like Cardinal, so would you say that the stepping stone would be like Cardinal to VCV Rack? So maybe VCV Rack would be the great. Thank you for the follow, Jeff Wright. I appreciate it. So maybe here. meant for the tiers you made. Oh, like bouncing it. I'll send a link, or I'll... Can I even do that? I don't even know how to save this, to be honest. Cardinal to VCV rack seems alright, but paid is worth every single penny. True. VCV appeals to the modular doctrine of throwing money into a ditch. Hell yeah, that sounds like regular modular synthesis. There's a save button at the bottom. I saw that there was a save, but every time I see this, it tries to save it as just like a thing. Like it only offers me to download the image. So that's kind of what I'm curious about. Is there another place to save that I've missed? Because this just says download. There's not like a thing that actually says save. Oh, this is 2025. Control Shift S on the browser? On the browser? On the browser? I do enjoy experimenting and supporting VCV rack authors, some creative devices out there. That's cool too. Save the image if you can, image host. Yeah, I'll post the link. Whenever this is done, I'll post the link in the Discord. I was only joking and just make fun of modular nerds because they won't let me in the gang. I don't know, there's a lot of modular people here that are pretty chill. What's next? What? What's the Sphinx? It's weird when an open source project suddenly gets a paid version, but you can get past it. That's worth it, IMO. I mean, you should expect that, to be honest, though. Like, you shouldn't always expect something to be free. This looks like Thorn. How do we feel about Thorn? Yo, thanks, Ian Super. Wait, do we have an imposter in here? My name is Ian. IMO VCV is great. We put VCV in great. So, what's so good about Thorn? Thorn is best looking compared to... It's a really underrated mono synth. Okay. What about it? It's Pauling. My first hardware synth was the Moog Sound Studio 3. Forgive me, but I am so lost with like Moog versions and stuff because of how many different synths they've come out with. I thought it was mono. Never heard of Thorn. I've never heard of it either. Any opinions on Soft2 Modular? I've never heard of that myself. But can it play Crysis? It could probably run Doom. But most likely not Crysis. Why use a mono synth? I don't know. Monarch sounds pretty good. It's like the most harmer thing out there, so to speak. Lots of modulation. It's pretty capable. Okay. So I'd probably lean on Data and Gloom. Where would you place this in the list? Maybe top of good / mid? Yeah, we told that one a couple days ago. Good / mid. Maybe here. It beats Spire. Yeah, most of the stuff here is not in any order except for this. These top 4, I would say, are these are the best in the industry, in my opinion. Thorn is Don't Bother. I have the Model 82 SH101. That's a good monosynth by Softtube also. I'm so sorry, guys. I have no idea what the hell that is. Softtube Modular is nice, but with Eurorack Sims, it comes down to modules and VCV rack it has. I think Current should go up a tier. I don't think that Current is must own. I think it's great. I don't think that it's must own. We can, like, I think I'll give you all a floor after we get through these synths, and you can debate any of this stuff with me. I'm totally open to it, other than there's no fucking way that you're going to convince me that anything is better than Phase Plant. At the same time, that's why we're here. I'm open to debate, but yeah, the thing is that Vital is free, Current is $200, and then you have a step above into Serum 2, and it's like, I don't think that Current has the best effects out of these, in my opinion, but I don't think that it's enough to stand out as being in the top 4. You know, when you start looking at, you have to have this, you have to have this, you have to have this, it's hard for me to fit this into the must own, if that makes sense. Has the best mini Moog emulation. Thank you, 12. I appreciate the follow. When V collection, I'm curious with that one. So we're actually not going to include the V collection in there. That was already baked into the pre-template, but I don't think that it's worth putting in because it's like 50 cents. I only know like 7 of all these. I only know... No, I know a lot of these, but there's a lot in here that I've never seen before as well. So it's good education, if anything, to know what's out there. What do you mean best effects, best sounding? I think that it has... Yeah, I think that the effects are the highest quality. They have really unique effects. Do I regard Cube as a synth? It's more of a... It's a sampler at the end of the day. That are very musical, non-meme tier. There's only 2 or 3 of these that I've never used. Have you heard of all of them though? Yeah, let's try to wrap this up too. So I think this is this Odin? No, this is Europa. How do we feel about Europa? Good to see Massive still highly regarded. It's pretty strong. Technically, Serum 2 is a sampler, not a synth. What? Europa is sick. It had filter table before the kilohertz? Really? That's cool. Nintendo Virtual Boy UI. Yeah, that's strikingly similar. You have a point. So where would you all place this one? No idea. Never used it. Next to Thorn. So maybe here? Do you think that... I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just in this category. It's really... Yeah, it's really hard for me to figure out like what goes what, except for the very top. Thank you, Hua. UI looks doo-doo butts. The new Dawson effect hate is quite shaper table-like. I've heard that it's pretty cool. I think Databroth has a demo on it, if I'm not mistaken. He also has a demo of Serum 2 if you're looking for more Serum content. We're almost done. We're gonna kind of wrap this puppy up. What is this one? Graphite. I think that was something that Gloom mentioned. Yeah, let me know if you're interested in trying hate. I'll take a look at it. I haven't even seen it before, but I'll let you know, okay? Thank you. Don't bother. Because Vital exists. Oh, because this is free, right? But I will ask, does this have a wavetable maker? If Europa is in here, what about Maelstrom? Maelstrom is a first-party synth. I saw Graphite in one of those free VST sites. If I remember correctly, no. Alright, then I agree. Then don't bother. Don't bother. Don't bother your faja. We did Ghost. This one is something. I don't even remember what this one is called. UGM effects are just effects, so it's not like a generic third-party synth. Karma, right, the pre-phase plant phase plant. Best wavetable maker is Wave Edit. Is that absent? Yeah, but we're not going to put it in there because I didn't realize that you can't even get it anymore. Is Newfangled Audio Generate on here? It's not, because it's not really like a generic synth. It only kind of focuses on like one specific aspect of sound design. You know what I mean? It's not something that you would reach for to be able to make drums, to be able to make, you know, a wide range of sounds. It's pretty much only focused on one thing. Imagine Faceplant's granddad. It's got to be at least good then, right? Wave edit is gone. Sag. It's a chaos generator. Yeah, so Generate is a beast for pads, which is all fine, but I think that it's only like very specific. Is Suno considered a synth? No, I wouldn't put that in here. It's not a plugin, although it can do some wild shit. No. So how do we feel about tossing this into good? Within its modules, it's more limited. UI very dated. I've never seen this before, but it is semi-modular. And powerful as fuck. Okay. Yeah, I think that seems like a strong argument for at least good or mid. Not considering workflow, would I say Reactor is more capable than Faceplant? Like on paper, probably. I mean, if you think about it, with Reactor, you can design, you know, anything within it. It's literally DSP. Yeah, you missed him, Sound Factory. But yeah, I don't know. I'd also have to hear how like the baked in block effects are as well, because I haven't really heard much of Reactor as that, as like as a modular synth, opposed to hearing the things inside of it. You know, like what have I used in Reactor? The metaphysical thing is goated. That's something that I used to use all the time. The laser bass thing, I guess, was kind of cool. There was a really cool granular sampler in there at one point or another. See you, Victor. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Actually, thank you all for coming in. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Yeah, we're whittling down now. I think this is Icarus 2, if I'm not mistaken. How do we feel about this? What's cool about this? What's not cool about this? Super 8 is pretty cool. It's pretty niche though, because that's just like a virtual analog synth, right? Okay, I can chat. Ghost is fantastic. I imagine FM8 wasn't shy. Well, that was your first mistake. FM8 is pretty great. Combined with Vital, you get to use multiple engines like Serum 2, distortion and filters per oscillator. My biggest issue with Ghost, and if you look at Ghost, we actually don't have this rated. I didn't put it in a specific category because not a lot of people have used it. The other thing is that it doesn't have a wavetable maker. Razor and Form. Oh, yeah, I guess Razor was inside of Reactor, huh? We're great, and Monarch is good. Madrona Labs. No, I've never heard of that. Repro is not on here because nobody mentioned it to me. FM8 is bug and hasn't been updated and won't be. Well, that doesn't take away from how good it is and how large of a variety of sound you have. Oh shit, you're right, Scree. I forgot. I have a review on Rolly Equator. I think it's okay. I would say there's better things out there. They really tried to cash in on the MPE stuff, but since then everything has MPE now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay. But yeah, I still don't know about Ghost. I do want to give it a proper try. But right now it's in the we don't know. Because I think you're the only you and Alex Reed were the only person or the only people that were able to kind of comment on that. What's next? Is this Blue from Rob Papin? No, this is Blade. It looks like. I think this is also from Rob Papin. Is this an additive engine? Is that what we're looking at here? The zesty Jesus music go crazy? What does that even mean? Ghost has a free demo and is rent to own now. Solo dev and considering updating, worth a try and worth my money. Mall Ninja Synth? No, so the dev actually reached out to me to demo Ghost. It was just really bad timing. I was out of town and I didn't have access to my computer, and my grandmother had also recently passed away. So I missed out on demoing it. I do want to give it a fair shot at some point, but yeah, I let that developer down and I feel bad about it, but you know, whatever happened, I can't really control that. I've put my family first. Blade is okay, I wouldn't bother. You should also make a synth ranking if you don't have one yet. Rest in power, Grandma. Hell yeah, Grandma. Alright, don't bother. I know that this is old as hell, so I feel pretty okay with placing that there. I think we only have maybe a couple more left. I think we've got this one and then this one. Yeah, I think these other ones are some whole other shit. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Ghost is 200 bucks. Repro and Hive are two different things. Repro is Profit 5.6. Oh, Babylon, right. How do we feel about Babylon? This does not look interesting to use at all. Oh, from Waves Factory or whatever. Knobfest. I hate staring at it. Yeah, I feel like there's better options on the market that are also free. Looks like God tier. I can't say I agree. UI looks like patch editor's old synths, so a no. Don't bother with it. Nothing wrong with the sausage party. The UI looks like it was made by a programmer. Probably was. Just like every other synth. UI designer really likes knobs. The visual of dozens of knobs without haptic feedback run a physically touching one. I really hope that people in the future get out of like making virtual analog knobs. Like I am so ready to let that shit go. Like Waves overstayed their welcome on that stuff for way too long. How many knobs do you want? Yes. Yeah. I think this is the last one that we have. Of Ascension, it's a cheap but surprisingly powerful. No, I haven't. Hive was used in the Oppenheimer score. Okay. What is this? Hallian. Yeah. WA Productions, it's so unique. Features different scale tuning. Yeah, no thanks. I think I'll pass. I consider myself a UI enthusiast. I don't know, man. If you add a T in between that, you're going to be talking about a whole different ballgame. It's like a weaker contact IMO. How is it priced in comparison for the content? Emulations have a disadvantage in this list. Yeah, you said it much more eloquently than I could have, Fred. Thank you. Hans Zimmer loves using Zebra 2. He even has his own version of it. Yeah, the Dark Horse thing or whatever. It's so controllable. Everyone's so creative. Zebra 2 Classic. Okay, what are the general thoughts on WA Productions? I bought a clipper or a compressor from them one time with a clipper. It was absolute dog shit. I also have the cord thing from them. I also think it's absolute dog shit. Steinberg products are overpriced. IMO would not pay for it. Has a free version with free stuff. Okay, so we'll probably place it there. I think this is pretty much it, because these other ones, these are just either duplicates or don't belong in this list. Yeah, but here you are. How many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 21, 22. These are like 50 cents. So we covered the top or bottom 50 workhorse synths in 2025. I want a refund for Hallian. It's Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and some synth tech guy. All right, so for the next segment, what's the last one at the bottom, the green one? I think this is Absinthe, but you can no longer get this on the market. So that was a mistake. Also, hi Mala. Okay, so my next question for you all, or actually, yeah, I'm going to give you all the floor or the opportunity to argue or to change whatever you want. Just not on the market. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. No, I haven't tried audio line. Everyone tell me why I'm such a bad person for pigments being in mid. Everyone tell me why I'm such a bad person for having Falcon as in don't bother. Actually, this is fucking here for me. Don't bother. Tell me why you think Serum 2 belongs in the #1 spot. Tell me why you think whatever the fuck belongs wherever it belongs is where it should be. And if I agree with you, I will move it. Yeah, I haven't tried audio line. I think Databroth did a demo on it at some point. Because I own pigments and needed confirmation bias. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, that's not a good enough reason for me though. You can make noises in Falcon. Pigments should at least be great or must own. Pretty agreeable list. I would just have Dune 3 in Contact and must own for my personal taste. Pigment's kind of lame, not gonna lie. Current is must own for me. Alright, I'm hearing a lot of opinions. I need some reasons. I missed the silent rating. How did it end up being overrated? It's insanely CPU efficient and sounds great. It's just so old, Frog, compared to everything else. That's why it ended up in overrated. It did some great things for its time, but it's just like, yeah, it's extremely old. Pigments should lose a tier for the sidekick damage from that tutorial. How do I like making drums in Current? I actually enjoy it. I think it's fine. I've got a lot of drums as of recent that I've made in it. Someone sold me Pigments for 20 bucks. I can get really playable sounds from Dune 3 that I can check on a separate MIDI controller while I play a Rhodes over the top. I don't see C-Sound in this list, for shame. I'm sorry, I wasn't mentioned. I asked several times, I'm like, what else am I missing? What else am I missing? Hive 2, much higher. It has one of the best workflows and wavetable interpolations and juicy filters. It doesn't have many features, but what it does exceptionally well. Isn't it like 200 bucks? Please put some kicks and snares in the Arcanum thing. I think I did. I think I also posted Current patches in there too, but I will, since you asked. Hive 2 is 150 USD. Pigments is cool. The new modal engine is solid. They added a vocoder. It's a nice Swiss Army synth, a good complement to other better synths. I mean, do you think that it's better than the other 4 competitors though? That's my thing, is like, okay, maybe it's alright, but compared to Vital, which is free, that's hard to argue with. Compared to Current, compared to Serum 2, compared to Phase Plant, like, yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. I would definitely be willing to admit that I'm biased, but I don't think that Pigments does anything that spectacular. It's better than half of the stuff at Good and Mid. I think that's fair. I mean, did you watch my review on Serum 2? There's a very... Well, actually, there's a lot of reasons why I think that Serum 2 is #2. Then, if being not as good as Faceplant puts it in Don't Bother, no, nothing has been compared to Faceplant as in Don't Bother. None of those considerations of the don't bother thing has been in this list. It's always just been, okay, well, what does it do that's good or whatever. Like, we went through the reasoning for all of these. But again, like, keep in mind, everybody, this list is just for fun. So yeah, I'm sure that the dislike ratio on this video is going to be very fun when people who didn't catch the stream watched it. Because if they're anything like me, they're going to scroll to the end and look at the ending list and then give me all the rage bait comments, but whatever. I'm having a good time with all of you, so what can you say? So Bitwig's Grid is not in this list because it's a first-party synth. We are not talking about first-party synths on this list. Synth 1 is bae. I don't care what everyone says. Stream's been awesome. You're definitely going to get some views on this. Port audio on this list. I don't even know what that is. I wrote an auto compressor back in college in Java. The interface was C sound. It was the thing. Fair. Have I tried the balloon arpeggiator in Falcon? I have. I dislike Falcon with a passion. Like I don't dislike it so much that I want to see it not succeed, because I think UVI is a good company. I've met them at NAMM. I have a matter of respect for them, but the abomination of what Falcon has become as a synth and how fucking tedious it is to work in that just to get very simple things out of it just makes me never want to touch anything sound design related ever again. Falcon is supposed to be a souped up sampler. And that's the thing too, right? And notice that I never said anything about it being a bad engine or whatever. Like, it doesn't sound bad. I think that the other oscillator engines and stuff are kind of whatever. Does Falcon have a wavetable editor? Yeah, it feels like stacking boxes at a warehouse. And then like getting into the instrument builder with like the multi-samples and then panning everything out and whatever, it's just like, it is way more work than what it's worth, you know? Falcon's very demotivating, feels like trying to make an art. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that if I were to just be building a multi-sample thing as a, I don't know, like something like, I think, what's it called? Venus Theory does that in Better Synth, or is that what it's called? Decent Sampler? You know what I mean? That makes sense, but I don't do that. That's not my thing. And because I don't, trying to get anything else come out of that is just so annoying. In theory, like, it can do some incredible stuff. It can run scripts. It's got cool, like, you know, modulators. It has cool, like, arpeggiator stuff, blah, 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 you know, Euclidean sequencer. Like, it has a lot of bells and whistles that on paper are really fucking cool. But the usability aspect of it, the modulation routing, and just, oh my god, that thing is just a nightmare to use. I cannot stand it. Can't stand it. The synth is not incompetent, but the flaw is in the workflow is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, the flaw is in the design aspect of it.
Recording to logbook.
It's almost like, thank you for the follow, Druggy. It's almost like, here's a Ferrari, but you're 5. Thanks for taking the time to answer that. Yeah, so for that reason, I'm like, not really into it. The thing that I don't like about Pigments as well, and the reason why I put it at mid, is because, like, that's another thing that it has on paper, right? It's got, you know, wavetable, it has FM, it has all that stuff or whatever, but just the workflow aspect of it is really clunky. I don't like the effects. I don't like the effect routing. I feel like I haven't used the physical modeling stuff, but if I had to compare at least Pigments to Current, Vital, Serum, Faceplant respectively, I don't see this being a better synth than these. No, we didn't rank East-West because that's still in Contact. So, I know that this one is probably the most jarring, but I think that the reason why this is on the list is because this is, in my opinion, my favorite analog virtual analog synth. I don't think that it's as powerful as Pigments, but that's why this is on there. FM8, a huge range of sounds. Surge, that was not my choice. That was by chat. Reactor, VCV rack, Zebra. People wanted Massive here because of whatever. This is Rapid. I think I'd probably pick Rapid over that. Avenger, same thing. Contact, and then M Sound Factory. No, I think Pigments is fine where it's at, to be honest. Gotta go now. Nice seeing you out. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, Marcelo. Omnisphere above Pigments is painful. Perhaps, but like the sheer amount of content on Omnisphere is hard to argue against. But it doesn't do anything exclusive. Decent UI design is worth a mention though. Yeah, I thought East and West, or East-West stuff is just like loaded into Contact. Is it its own thing? 2 mistakes on my behalf on a single stream of mine. What was the first mistake? It's not my day. I got it all wrong. Thought I was saying something else. I was at the Serum 2 stream. Oh, I don't remember. It's fine. EW has the Opus player, I think it's called. Oh, it's its own thing. Love seeing Dune 3 in the great tier. Can't really explain why, but it's one of my all-time faves. Yeah, so a lot of the options on this list were not from me. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought East-West was through Contact. I think the only thing that I'm firm on, like I said, is the top 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I say that these 3 are must own because, well, this is free. So if you own these 2, I would not say that this is must own, but like it's really hard to argue not to get this because of how accessible it is. I also think that it provides the easiest gateway to learning sound design. I feel very confident with owning these 2 as paid plugins. But if you have these, this doesn't make as much sense. I would also say though, like, I think that overall this is stronger, right, than this one and this one. But I would also say if you have these 2, it would be hard for me to recommend this. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. Yeah, I actually mentioned your name when we first talked about Massive X. And with the Massive X jokes again. My ex was massive. Lol, 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 lol. It's decades old and barely functional. They would be better off in Contact. I do want to try to make something in M Sound Factory at some point. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. I'm not ready for that. Serum reminds me of Valhalla Vintage Verb. There are better reverb bags. It's so goated but also awful at the same time. Omnisphere is always sick. Long time ago. For me, Pigments is straight dookie. I don't like Pigments either, personally. I think it looks great. I really love the color interface and stuff that it has and like the movement and the modulation system, but I don't like the modulation system itself, and I don't like really anything else about it. I haven't tried the physical modeling thing, but you know, I think that the FM engine and the wavetable stuff is definitely on the weaker side that I don't really care for. I don't really vibe with the granular synth either, personally. Alright, so my last question for you all. Throw all this shit out the window. You already know what mine is. Tell me what your favorite synth is. Not what is the best. Not what is whatever, but tell me what your favorite synth is out of anything, and then tell me why. Good if it was offered as Modular, but I forgot I already had Serum effects. Yeah, I didn't know that either, actually, so that was a mistake on my account as well. I didn't mention Mist because that doesn't come off as a workhorse synth. Nexus is on the list. Faceplant, of course. Efficiency, insanity. Faceplant, I can go deeper. No, okay, wait. Yeah, I guess better reverb VSTs, but the usability is great, just like how Serum is simple and easy to use, just load up and create sounds. Very in Sound Factory, as I can build virtually anything I like with the effects section that has per module oversampling is very composable. On Serum, super easy. The new Contact 8 synth is really fun, but pretty simple. I didn't know that they came out with one. I definitely can't pick one. Cult is a second for me because of its wackiness. Can do some odd and perhaps unusable sounds. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to pick one, but just, you know, I think these are just fun questions to talk about with this nerd stuff. Repro because it's very close to my P6, almost like a portable patch library. 3x oscillator. Serum, it's been a good week. Yeah, Serum users are eating good right now. I was glazing Falcon earlier, but Faceplant was unbeatable IMO. We saved another one. Chat, we saved Waddles from the clutches of Falcon. Serum 2 being a free update was a wonderful show of love for the consumer. Yeah, that is such a pro-consumer move. Honestly, I like using Ableton synths. That's fine too. What are you talking about? You use Ableton. I'm trying to get Corey on Bitwig and she's like, nah. Any chance you'll do this anytime for mixing and effects plugins? I can, but think about how much larger that list is going to be. It's between VCV Rack and Faceplant. That's fair. Can't really think of any other go-to other than Faceplant and Serum. That's why I have those two up at the top of the market. Like, it's really hard to argue with this. Let's just say these four. As far as like what the best thing is to get, it's very hard to argue with that. Yeah, thanks to Steve Duda. Steve is the Duda. He eats ramen so we don't have to. I think he's doing pretty well if I'm not I have a lot of experience with Pigments, so that's that. Yeah, and it's totally fine if Pigments is your jam, you know. See ya, Michael, thanks for coming in. I don't know, what would I rate as the S tier plugins? These. And then these aren't really in order, but I still think that all of these are solid choices. Serum 2, Vital Current, and Faceplant are my tops. Pigments and Dune 3 are probably tied for 5th. I mean, Harmor is pretty sick. I don't like using it, but I see why people like it a lot. Contact is a must since I do orchestral a lot. Probably be my desert island. Yeah, that's totally fair. Massive X is also one I really like. As an FL dude, I do agree there's no 3x oscillator. If you look at the list switch, you'll see that there are no first-party plugins in this list. I mean, apparently there's been leaks for a long time, but I didn't know about it. I didn't hear about it. I thought it was just hearsay. Oh yeah, doing an effect thing would be like, I would need help. I would need a lot of help with that, and I don't want to go and download all these pictures for that. It would have to be broken up into categories like distortion or reverb, and even then it would still be hours long. But I don't know, maybe if there's enough interest in it, let me know or leave a comment or something if you want to do more tier lists, because it doesn't really matter. It's inconsequential, and honestly it's like very easy and enjoyable for me to sit down and just talk about dumb shit that leads to none of us making music, which is kind of what we should all be doing right now. But, you know, breaks are nice, and what can you say? Some people have been demoing it a while. Yeah, true. Sampler tier list. I suppose we could do that. Record into lot. Where would Serum 1 go? Probably next to Massive. I think it would be higher. I think it would be here. Probably either... No, it'd probably be here. Maybe right before M Sound Factory. Contact It is definitely top 3 since I use orchestral instrumentation, anything acoustic-wise. Yeah, I get it. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Armado. I appreciate the follow. I think Tearmaker stuff always leads to good conversations. Listening to a while working, voice is so soothing. You should start a podcast or something. I mean, I have a lot of podcast-esque videos that you could just watch in the background. This isn't even my final form. Welcome to Smooth Jazz. Weaver Beats will probably react to this. I'd be totally okay if he didn't, to be honest. Arturia Analog Lab is not on the list because Arturia Analog Lab is like a culmination of a bunch of synths. Do I use hardware to make music or outboard gear? I have an Analog Heat, Digitact 2, and Syntact, but I only do that stuff usually for sound design. I don't actually like send anything out to an external compressor or whatever. To be honest with you, the way that I get like -1 LUFS on my sounds are putting fuse compressor on everything and then clipping the shit out of everything and making sure that everything is sent out into a limiter but not touching the limiter. Yeah, for sure. I try hard to talk to chat. That's the funnest thing about streaming, is having a chat to talk to. And Corey's side input every once in a while. Sampler tier list would be nice to watch. Yeah, I could do that. You all, I'd probably rely on you all again to help me build it though, because I'm not really aware of all of the samplers, you know? I know of a few, but I'm trying to think. I don't know, and the problem with that too though is like, there's also going to be a lot of overlap, like Faceplant, Serum, you know, Avenger, all that other stuff. So I'd probably want to limit it to something that is only a sampler. You know what I mean? Because like, tier list vids are fire. Electron Gear makes me feel like Kurt Russell looking at Stargate Control. Fair. Hey, Theme. Yeah, we did some of that, what was it, yesterday? Or when I did the demo? Serum 2 plus Snap Heap and Multipass. We don't get any rice though. I don't even know what you mean. What? Fuse compressor is a multi-band upwards and downwards compressor. Dang, I haven't heard this song in a long time. I made this way back in 2016. You'll have trouble rating multi-samplers, Grant. Yeah, that's kind of the issue that I'd run into because, like I said, there's so much overlap. I guess if you want to take a look at the song that I played at the beginning of the stream, the second one, this is probably, yeah, the song is super loud. Next stream, can I also leave some rice in the fridge for chat? Well, I actually did leave rice in the fridge because I'm going to make fried rice for Corey tonight, but it's not for you, unfortunately. Sorry. We're going to have chicken and shrimp fried rice. How's that sound? Boo. Falcon? Don't bother. So if we play that from here, yeah, so -2, yeah, getting down to -1 at some points. The thing is like, this looks like a lot of stuff, but none of this is on. But I have a clipper here, and that's being sent. I know you couldn't hear it because this was going to be loud, and I didn't want to talk about it over. Forgot to feed us too often. Shake my head. A clipper into a limiter that's not doing anything is one of the best things that I can like offer. And when it comes into the sound design and stuff, distorting and saturating in stages, as opposed to like, no, it's not. It's a limiter. It's not a clipper. They're not the same thing. Very similar, but not the same thing. But saturating in stages and adding small amounts of distortion over time kind of helps you build a really loud sound, kind of like this. Maybe. Do not feed your chat after midnight. It's still not a clipper. It is. Yeah, so that's kind of one thing about this channel is like I actually make music. So the tier list is coming from somebody that does a lot of sound design. And I will also say that a lot of people in this chat are professional sound designers as well. They don't agree with everything that I've said, but yeah, so that's my experience. This Knox, even through the stream, thank you. Yeah, I've got playlists and stuff of my music on YouTube, on my website, but according to the comment section, they were saying that maybe Serum 2 will help me make music that doesn't sound like 2016, but I don't know. I think that my hopes are, just I should abandon all that and, maybe listen to what that guy is saying. I'm a professional disagreeer. That is one of the best fucking comments I've read in a long time. Do you even make sounds, bro? Of course not. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing or talking about. No idea. Falcon is here at the bottom. Don't bother. It is the last thing on here. I spent about 10 minutes talking about why I hate Falcon personally. Yes, I know. Feel free to disagree, but I have good reasons. So I'm going to try to summarize this very quickly, but a limiter and a maximizer are all time-based. A clipper is based off of dynamics that once it reaches past a certain signal, it just immediately cuts it off. And that's why Pro-L is not a clipper, essentially. It'll limit the signal, but it doesn't actually cut the peaks off. It just tries to stop this. It tries to stop the signal from getting any louder. And what this has to do with is dynamics, because when you cut the top of a signal off, you increase the RMS. So there's no peaks or anything. It makes the entire thing just naturally louder in the same way that sometimes compression does. But that's why compression has two different settings, the peaks versus the RMS. When you have a large crest factor, you might have some sounds that are really loud, but your dynamics are going to be introduced to where some of it is not as loud. So you're not going to be able to get that fat sensation of a sound. And when it comes into like making heavy beats and shit, you kind of want to have the the fattest centipede, so to speak, with the shortest legs. It's not about nothing goes above it. Because that's not the argument here. We're not talking about strictly volume. We're talking about how it's processing the sound itself. The thing is with a limiter, you are talking about something that is a time-based effect. When we're talking about a clipper, we're talking about something that is dynamics-based. I'll pretend I understand. That's totally valid too. I use Newfangled Saturate on the master, but for everything else, I just use Over, which is the built-in clipper for the most part. This is only on here because of a template, but I think that these two are just as good. But this right here has been, I use this on everything. It sounds great. For Ableton, you can just use the soft clip on Saturator and get the same result. But all you need to know is clipping is dynamics based. Limiter, maximizer is time based. I had seen you use Saturate as well. Yeah, to me, these two are just as good as each other. The only reason why this is still on here is because it's in my default template. So if I were to open up a new thing, like it's just already saved on there, but I have no issue replacing this with over. To me, like I said, it sounds just as good. Everything is going to reach full scale eventually. Why worry about constantly attenuating signals when you can stage clipping instead? I mean, I do. I think I just said that, right? Like I clip in stages. But at certain points, or whatever, you do still need to look at the entire signal and look at the relationship with all of the different sounds and then try to boost it. But yeah, I'm actually interested in, what was it, Kev Clip, the multi-band clipper. I don't want to buy it, so I haven't invested in it or whatever. But oh, I'm agreeing with you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit cooked right now, but yeah, I apologize. I misread chat sometimes, and if I do, I'll be the first to apologize. Practicing making music like a doctor. What? Yeah. It looks like you can use Pro L as a clipper. There's a mix guy on there, but no, it doesn't. It does not have, like, looking at what it does to a sine wave, it doesn't look like what it does. Check out Orange Clip. No, I have a clipper. It's fine. I don't need more shit that I already have. I mean, you all should use what you like by all means, but no, I don't want to buy other shit. The new Arturia clipper is rad. Yeah, I mean, if you take a sine wave and you look at what Pro L2 is doing with it, it doesn't behave in the same way. It just looks like it's trying to push the sine wave up to the ceiling, which you would think that it would be like, oh, it's squarifying and blah blah blah, but you could tell it's not the same. Check out Clippy. Well, shit, I mean, since we're talking about clippers, V clip, free clip, G clip, CLI T clip, Corey just gave me a dirty look. Big clipper, D's clip, standard clip. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I haven't pulled the trigger on K clip either. I really need to get it. Could really use a decent multiband clipper instead of routing things. Yeah, what was that? What was that spectral clipper? Was that the K clip one? Well, newfangled saturate is spectral as well. But there's another one. Or sorry, maybe I'm just thinking of the multiband clipper. It starts with a K. I can't remember what it's called. We can just make one with Wave Shaper. If I get banned for badges, oh, you're okay. I've seen much worse. Miss Word Paperclip tools are best clip. Hell yeah. Clippy isn't a clipper. It's your new personal writing assistant. Crafter. Thank you. Yeah, Crafter. I knew it started with a K. Crafter did look interesting, but not interesting enough for me to want to buy it. Masco made one in plugin data. I would also say that I guess there is one thing with this. Yeah, this would probably be the most interesting thing for me to consider, but also you could use anything from Minimal Audio. So do I even have Rift? I do. You could literally just throw this on there, keep everything at 0, and then just do this, or leave it on purple. You know what I mean? And this absolutely could be used, but like every single effect from Minimal Audio has this feature, so you could use that as well. To which that's why I use Fuse Compressor on everything, because it will compress it and then clip it, and that's how I get really loud sounds. Grid can do all kinds of clipping shenanigans with work, mind you. Unless if you're talking about sending everything out to a DC offset via a modulator, then no, it cannot do all kinds of crazy clipping things. XISO and I went over that when we were searching for a clipping solution before the Over plugin came out. And it was a fucking nightmare. It was a nightmare. I know the multiband one you referred to, can't remember the name. Oh, we just pulled it up. Crafter. This would be the one. I forgot about that. Thank you for correcting me. Sorry, I didn't mean it to come off that way. If it felt like a correction, it was more of just a, hey, this was my experience. Yeah, I didn't catch a signal properly. It was annoying, man. It was hell. I do not miss that at all. I have my own gripes about Bitwig's grid and stuff, but it's still, you know, a great tool. But we can talk about that in another video. All right. Today's experience was pretty sick. Does anybody have any final thoughts on this? I guess I might as well download this and put this in general. Download image. And then what I will do is leave this in the Discord in general. Glad you got power back, Velvet. There we go. So if anybody wants to check this out, it's here in the Discord in general. A little distortion to your maker at some point. Yeah, maybe next week or so. I wanted to remind you all that something that we started doing at the beginning of every stream is these everydays, if you're familiar with the upscale community or not. But something that I'm going to start doing at the beginning of every stream is playing out your 15-second submissions. So I don't care what it is as long as it's like safe for work or whatever, right? But it could be a sound, it could be a beat, it could be, I don't care, singing, rapping, whatever. But if you want a chance to like show off your stuff, do people really get subscription to VSTIs? Some people do, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, so you can submit just like a thing, and please only do one per day. If you have multiple, like over the course of several days, I'll play it out, but don't be like, here's 10 of them and expect me to play it all at once. But I think that this is just a cool way to give back to the community, and it's also a really fun way to be like, hey, this is something that can hold you accountable to, you know, make something every day. And that's the whole point of this. It's not meant to be a whole song. It's not meant to be something. It's just meant to be a place that you could be like, I need to open up a project. I need to make some sounds in it and then just let it go. 15-second stories, all it has to be. So if you want to participate that and you want your stuff played, there's no special, you know, considerations for it. It's really just meant to be a community thing. But yeah, there's that. I said it before, but if you are a Max for Live, Popbot's modal synth is freaking fantastic. Yeah, Popbot actually came in the chat earlier. It is super cool. Accountability buddy. Yeah, that's a great way to say that. No, I've never heard of Sample Tank. I used to. It's great when you're trying a ton of stuff and find the one. Yeah, so there's that. I guess since we made it through the entire stream, if you all want to support the channel, alckemy.com. If you want to check out my music, I have pretty much most of my music on YouTube. Or if you want to join the memberships for my website, then I release 2 tunes every month, and then you can just download it or just join for $1 and be able to listen to that stuff. I do lessons. I'm here for you. This is a community thing. And so, you know, whatever I can do to earn $1 and make us both feel good at the end of the day is kind of what I do here. Hold on one second. I got you, buddy. Great stream. Love the input of the chat. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I can't believe how big these last 2 streams have been. This is the first time that I've ever had 100 people back to back. So I don't think that this is to be expected every stream. Most of the time I'm doing music and my own sound design. But we still come in and we chat and we hang out and stuff. And most of the time I'm really actually trying to work on projects and stuff. I usually don't do the whole, I'm going to sit here and talk for hours. I'm usually actually like doing something. Only stumbled in at the end here, but it was fun with all the feedback and interaction. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that gave the channel a chance. I'm not too good for anybody. So, you know, if you choose to spend your time here, even if it's a little, a lot, it means a lot to me. And yeah, I don't take that for granted. So I am going to go make my partner some food, and I'm going to take care of her because she's got a little cold. But much love, guys. I will see you all Friday. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, middle of the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your evening. Check out the serum review if you want to see more content.